if you want. You know what? The amount of people that have said that music's well catchy, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Welcome
I don't know
along.
about catchy.
Hello,
Yeah,
Lee.
catchy.
Hello, Crafty.
Hello.
Hello, Paul.
Hello, good evening.
Everybody.
Episode 15. Dave's come back from his holidays. Thank you to everyone that's joining us tonight. Dave and Lee and Paul Mack, GBKS chair. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
I've got some mind-bending questions for you today, mate. You are going to get nailed, brother.
You're going to get rinsed, Paul.
You're proper.
Just go and let me go and get some lube.
Oh, Crafty. Can I just say thanks for Yasu again for the fishing edition?
Nice.
Mate,
the green
mate,
one.
I was Devo, mate. At the North of England Koi Show, I went over, right? And Matt and Carly, they are big friends of our show, right?
Yeah.
And they're friends of mine personally, and Lee's and yours as well. And no doubt, are they doing your T-shirts, Paul?
Done.
Oh,
Yeah, they're done.
so they're doing
yeah.
your right. So clearly, well versed within all businesses and shows, etc. I went up to the North England Koi Show, and I went, "Got any green T-shirts with the old Koi Show live?" And that. She looked at me all sheepish and it's like, "I ain't bought your print." I was like, "You are joking. That is terrible, Lee, isn't it?"
Oh, mate, I was devastated for you.
Well, I did challenge her because we left for France on the Friday, and I asked her on the Monday or the Tuesday, would it be possible to get me one ready? But she came through. Thank you, Carly.
She does. I have got a message from
That is
the
lovely,
person
isn't it?
that won a T-shirt last week. I've got all back orders done. We need to have a chat about that afterwards, guys, as well. Got all back orders done. So, Paul, as everybody that comes on the show gets a T-shirt. What are you, triple XL?
Not in salmon pink, though, that you're wearing.
I was going to say small, medium, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, you're buying it for
just
your
let us
forearm.
know what your size is, and then we'll pass that over to Yasu, who knock it out to us at cost.
Nice.
She don't, but I'm just trying to push that, by the way. So
No, she did our show T-shirts, and obviously the logos of the sponsors that were on the back, and obviously the Tancho picture which is the special award this year. They needed changing for the T-shirts to make them look brilliant on a T-shirt, if you know what I mean. So she actually contacted all the sponsors to say, you know what I mean, for the artwork, can we do this? And she's come up with some fantastic design work.
I mean, to be fair, mate, she's excellent. If something don't work, she cuts it up. She puts her own take on it, and that's what she done with. I just said, like, we want that, and that. She threw over a couple of designs, and Carly, that is not the cat's mother. And come up with this. But I think we're going to get a new one done soon.
Right. Well, we'll get another one done next year.
So, anyway, Dave.
Yes.
Back from France. Blanked.
Yes. Yeah. No, not this year. Had a good year. It was quite warm. We had it up to about 41 degrees on 2 days. So we arrived thinking it was going to be quite a challenge, but no, we had a good week and caught some nice pieces for all those that like their carp fishing.
And you caught a couple of wet pussies, didn't you?
Yeah, 144-pound cat, a 6111 common, a 57.9 or something grassy. That keeps
Yeah,
you,
that was a good
on
fish,
your toes. Yeah, so a good week was had. Yeah,
That's
very
good.
good.
So when you were going abroad, all
Yeah.
right. So before we get into this, guys, fire your questions in today because we're gonna be answering, and Paul's gonna be answering because once we
Put
get
me
to
on the
know
spot.
about him a bit,
Go
he
for it.
knows his stuff as well. Yeah, when you go abroad, right, and
Yeah.
you leave your shop,
Yeah.
right. We have so many people coming into the shop, as you will, as like Paul goes away 10 times a year because he's rich. Ligas never goes away. But when he's away at weekends and that, how are you looking after your fish over that whole period?
Right. Well, we run trickle in, trickle out on every system. So the first thing is we up that. So we're changing a lot more water. We introduce a couple of extra air pumps so we can lash them across so that if anyone fails, but we do have somebody come in and check for us. And apart from that, I starve them the week before we leave. So no food will be given whilst we're away. I think too many people get a bit het up on I need me auto feed them when I'm away on holiday. To be honest, I think the safest thing to do is not feed them when you're away. Nothing to go wrong then. So, and of course, then we've got cameras. We've got cameras set up.
Yeah, you've got SOS systems as well, haven't you? So
yeah, and I've got a system now that can send me an alarm, any power outages and things like that. So you can only do it 99%. You know, you can't account for every different scenario, but we've accounted for as many as we hope we'll ever encounter. But yeah, but everything was fabulous when we come back. Fish were all looking. In fact, the week's rest of food before we went and whilst we were away, I think the fish are looking actually really a lot better than before we went. So I think it's done them good, to be perfectly honest.
it does do them good coming off the food sometimes.
Yeah, I think so. So I've just given a minimal now before they're starving again now in preparation for the show next weekend.
What show?
The show.
The show.
Yeah.
Are you trading at the Great British Koi Show, Dave?
Yeah, I'll be at the Great British Koi Show again. Is this the 4th year now, Paul?
Fifth year this.
Really? So we've done it for 5 years, and yeah, looking forward to it. I enjoy this show. I think it's a nice towards the back end of the year, or getting towards the back end of the year. It's a great show to go to, and
is it your last show of the season?
It'll be my last one. Yeah, it will be. Yeah, it'll be my last one. I know there's others, and what we hope to do this year is perhaps go and see some others on the other side of the fence this year, which is quite nice. It's quite nice to visit a show as not an attending dealer and just have a walk around as a punter.
Absolutely right.
It's quite nice. So yeah.
What about you, Lee?
Well, this week, just concurrent activity, mate. I've been checking over the fish. They're looking superb. Like the fish that I got from that exclusively dealers event. What was that? About 6 weeks ago? Yeah,
about that now.
Oh, mate, the bodies are outrageous. I've been pushing them and they look superb. They're obviously starving as of yesterday afternoon, ready for the Great British, and they're looking so good. I'm so.
Are you trading as well?
Of course I am.
I'm the odd one out.
I know, mate. It's shocking, to be honest.
I can't do it on a bank holiday, mate. It's just too difficult for us.
Yeah.
Too difficult with a
Where I need the
as
bank
well.
holiday.
It's like, yeah. But, it is what it is. There's other shows that I attend, so, know. So I also noticed, Lee, that you put a bit of carbon floss into your system already.
Yeah, I just, yes, here it is. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I didn't use all of it. I had a little bit of an offcut, but yeah, I set up a little Tamasaba tank, and like Exclusively does, I've just used a 2-tier Montero shower as the mechanical and the biological, you know. And I thought I'd try just Mountain Tree products, so I got myself into the SKS catalog and had a mooch around, and yeah, it looks good stuff.
Mate, that's selling like hotcakes with us.
Probably down to my advertising. Because I done a video on it, didn't I? And I said that you can get it from SKS and Perfect Aquatics.
There you go. So yeah, you're
have you had any
reason.
phone calls for pond bombs?
Oh, mate, I don't sell them anymore. They're just free.
You haven't watched my last video then, have you?
Yeah.
You haven't watched my last video.
Purchase,
Did you, Dave?
Yeah.
The big number.
You've got thousands in stock, and he's even given you a phone number.
Mate, it's just hotwired straight to EA. That's where it goes to, mate. But yeah, we're busy week for me. So the ever looming pet shop license renewal is just come about. So it's basically, mate, they do things different every year.
How often do you have to do that there?
Well, because we get a 5-star, we get a 3-year license that gets inspected once a year.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to do it every year.
So this is the second time that I've done it. First time was when I first got employed, when I started. And it's changed. But, you know, no biggie. It's just a pain in the arse having to answer all the questions that you don't really need to answer.
Yeah, actions on.
Yeah, all that crap, mate, to be fair. You know, if you've been trading so long, you know, what do you do with an ammonia spike? And it's there the same as last time and the time before that and the time. But, you know, it is what it is. But it just gets in the way, you know, of normal business. And we've just started dropping WhatsApp koi. A couple a day continuously is what we're doing. So if you're not part of the WhatsApp group, you need to be, because you're getting some good deals come through on there.
Actually, I've got another big step forward for mankind as well. I've almost set up my, you know, internal UK shipping. I put it on the back burner for a little while because I didn't feel, you know, I don't want to overwhelm myself, but now we're ready for it.
It's easy.
I know it's easy, but it's just like slow and steady, catch you monkey. You know what I mean, Paul, don't you?
Oh, I'm slow.
You know, listen, when you first get your girlfriend, you keep your socks on. You don't just go flat out. It's a safety buffer. That's what I call it. So, yeah.
100%. So, Paul Mack, welcome along to the show, sir.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
First things first, right? I know that you've done a podcast with Joe and you mentioned something that had gone wrong in your pond. I'm just putting it out there because people are already starting to ask. We will not be covering anything to do with the subject that was covered in Joe's video tonight. And there's a reason for it. And basically it's being dealt with and we need to keep it off social media, etc., etc. So please don't ask. Just cleared that up, Paul, because people will ask and they'll start to get the wrong end of the stick, mate.
Yeah, when I've got to ask people, I started with Joe, so it will stay with Joe. You know what I mean? I just think that's fair, because there is things I've got to ask the koi community, and it's just the time.
Actually, as a dealer, I'm interested too. Just so
I'll sell you a subscription.
Right, Paul. People may not know you. You're not all right. You've got a bit of a face knocking around on Joe Mitchell's Koi Perspective podcast. Yeah. People may not tune into Joe that do tune into this.
Yeah.
So introduce yourself, mate, of why you're appearing on the show today, so people are aware who you are.
Well, my name's Paul. A few years ago, I took the chair of the club, the Yorkshire section of the BKKS, where we used to have a little clothes show in Yorkshire. We got shut down with that, and we started the Great British just as for the members, really, you know. But we just created a bit of a monster, and so became the chair of the Great British. What's this? My third year now,
yeah.
and
Third.
it's a good show. It's I think people are looking forward to it. VAT sold out very quickly. 32. We only have 2.8 meter VATs. We don't have the small ones. And I think there's about 11 on the waiting list still. So, but we're strictly one person, one VAT. Not nobody will have
Not
two
multiple
VATs. So,
VATs.
no.
So before we get all into that though, why did you become the chair?
What, of the club or the show?
Yeah. Are you the club chair as well?
Yeah.
Right. So you dual role. So what made you want to take that on, the chairman role?
The chairman of the club, it was sort of sprung on me really. I've been in the club since 2016 of the April. I joined at the AGM. I can remember that because I was on crutches and in plaster and got there, and they said, "Do you want to be chairman?" I went, "No." And I took on, I think, sorting out all the events for the club, and I've done that for 8 years now. And with doing the events, you know what I mean, whether it be going to visit dealers or different koi clubs or exchange visits, like we've been to Scotland, we've been to Devon, you know what I mean, and taking, sometimes there'll be 30 of us that go away. You just get to know people, and I think I'm quite a people person. That was my job before I retired. So
have you retired?
I've been retired
older
5
enough,
years.
mate, to be fair. I look older than you, I think.
I retired at 54.
Oh, okay.
So
1954. That was some time back, mate.
Yeah. No, I got run over with a forklift and lost.
Yeah. Mate, well, they're an heavy old mechanic. So, do you take new members on from anywhere in the country, or is it strictly county lines? Or
no, we were called the Yorkshire section because basically we were most of us were. I say most of us were in Yorkshire, which is a massive county, you know. But then we sort of started the Great British Koi Show, and people wanted to join because they'd come along. We did have a membership stand, but it just got sort of overrun really, and we didn't want to feel that people were joining just because it was the thing to do at the show. That was not what we were about. Actually, we're a club. We meet 12 months of the year, and we want people to get involved. But people do get involved. We've got obviously we've got Craig up in Scotland. He's our furthest north. We've got people down near Stansted Airport. We've got people over in Manchester.
And you had me down in Wales. Come on.
You're not a member yet, Ian Page Bear.
Oh, membership. No, sorry. Yeah. I got denied last year.
And we go out to the East Coast, you know, so it's 20 quid a year. The more you want from the club and the more you get involved, the more you'll get out the club.
So as a club, what do you offer for membership?
Oh, right. Well, we've just, this year we've been to Peterborough Koi Club. We've had the day down there. They've had the day up here with us. If a member opens their pond so we can go and meet and have a chat and just a chinwag and stuff, they put on the food and stuff like that, and we pay for it. We've done a subsidised growing show this year. Now you ask me, I can't even remember where we've been. But yeah, we've been. Oh, we've done Peterborough with our members. That we've got 3 or 4 members down in Peterborough, so we had a couple of days down there. We've got the summer barbecue after the show, just round the corner. That's all bought and paid for. But yeah, everything. We just go around visiting people. You know what I mean? We'll do dealer runs. We'll just pick an area and say.
It's all organised for your members, correct?
Oh yeah. All they've got to do is turn up. Yeah, there's no expense involved unless they're buying something.
Do you put minibuses and stuff on for them as well?
we're too widespread, Lee.
Right, I
You know
got
what I
you.
mean?
Yeah, true.
You know, when we were Yorkshire, we still didn't, because Yorkshire can go out. You know, you can end up in Bradford and Leeds, which is a good hour and a half from me. You know, it's where do you meet and what do you do, and then, you know, when we went to Scotland, there was people that said, "Oh, we'll meet you up, but what we'll do is we'll have a week before or a week after." You know what I mean? So we met up with the Scottish lads and lasses, but people stayed up on holiday, the same as when we went down to Devon. You know, it's very hard to just say, right, we're going on the Friday at 12 o'clock and we're leaving from this point, and then we're coming back from this point. But we try and do a lot of car sharing if we can. You know what I mean? We do a round robin. If we can get 4 in a car, we'll take 4 in a car.
What's the current membership running at, Paul?
We do family memberships, and I think it's about 65 families at the minute.
Wow, that's a good sized club, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look at, I want to give Will a bit of a slagging, because he's going to his brother's wedding next week and leaving us in the lurch for the show. And
mate, he should have got his brother to reorg.
Poor excuse.
On a different date, mate.
It was outrageous that he couldn't even do that for us. But I said I'd mention him. But then there's like 5 in the family, so it's very hard to say what is a family. You know what I mean? We give family memberships, so you know we could have anywhere between 200 and 300. Yeah. It's so. But not normally. If we go away, there may be about 35 of us. You know what I mean? If we go,
that's
somewhere.
A good tow as well, though, mate. To be fair,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But dealer visits, do you do many of them?
Yes, we do.
How come you've never come down to my shop then?
It's a very good question. We were going to try and do. Well, we were going to try and do a day down with like Dave, going to SKS, Avenue Fisheries and stuff like that. But then that meant the night over, and then the Peterborough Koi Club on the Sunday. I don't know why we didn't do it, because I've never been down there, and my mum only lives around the corner from Dave.
Cheers, mate. Cheers for all the support. Love you.
No, I didn't mean it like that, because I'm going down with my mum, aren't I? But as many as we can do. I think where did we go last year? Well, this year I can't remember. We do so many. I think we went Chris Masters, Aqua Group, Doc Koi, because they're a long way apart, you see.
Yeah, I mean that's why I asked, mate, because you know when you've got a group of people in a club, you tend to all come together and do stuff, because people are urging other people along, aren't they?
Yeah, it was. We try and get out twice a year. You know what I mean? It's quite nice, because I'm not doing the events anymore. Martin is, but we try and get out. We'll try and get out once for the tow size season, and once for the autumn harvest. You know what I mean? And we'll just pick somewhere and then go.
Well, if you ever there's an invitation. I know I don't come to your show, Paul, but that's merely down to operational reasons, mate. But there is an invitation there. If you want to link up, got the cafe, etc. We'll do something for the day, because I know it's a bit of a slog, but we'll do something for a day where whether I see if I can get the koi judges involved, or even link up with Dave or Liam, do a joint event, you know.
I put a rain check on that until he gets definitely his pet shop license again this year.
I mean, that's fair enough. So going from what we was just chatting about regarding hobbyist club, doing a few events, becoming
then to the show chair. Oh yeah.
Right. Let's talk show. How much work actually goes into, because it's not the national.
No.
It's a completely different kettle of fish. How much work actually goes on behind the scenes at what I would call a major koi show, if I'm perfectly honest?
But we'll have a wash up in September, because the question that we need because we're a club. You know what I mean? Nobody's given me 60 grand to put a show on. I have to ask my members to say, can you let me have all your money to put that show on? And hopefully I don't bankrupt the club. So September comes round, and as a show committee, we sit down. Phil has a rough idea of the figures, really, probably 2 weeks after knowing Phil, and just say, was it worth doing? And then if we do it again, what are we doing it for? Because that's the biggest question that we, as a club, we need to answer. Because I'm not a business. I don't need to make a profit, but then I can't make a loss, So if we can satisfy ourselves that we haven't bankrupted the club and we've made a few quid that I can give back to members, because there'll be 20 members that give up a week's pay next week to come and put this show on. So anything I do make, I try and give back as much of that as I can to the members throughout the year, whether it's for presentations, Christmas dinners, barbecues, subsidising a little growing show and stuff like that. I try and give it all back because without their help, it doesn't matter as a committee what we decided, but without the help of members and people that come and help, the show wouldn't go ahead. Not a chance. There's too much. One of that is because we're in a building. But if we satisfy ourselves that we're doing it for the benefit of the hobby and it's a feasible outcome that we're looking at, 2027 now, then it may go ahead again, yeah.
A question from the floor. Aaron Eden asks, are dogs allowed this year?
Yeah, but he's Welsh, isn't he? And
no Welsh dogs, I'm afraid, Alan. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, Welsh Corgi. No, Aaron only had to ring me. Yes, as long as they are well behaved and on a short lead.
Well, I took my dog last year and there was no problem. So
yeah,
there you go. With regards to you say, right, before I don't want you to tell me the answer to this question. I want everybody in the audience. I want everyone in the audience to take a guess after or while we're having a chat at how much it will take in coin, real dollar, to put this show on. So I think once you find out what the answer is, you'll be a little bit dumbfounded.
And I think the closest person to the right amount of last year's show should win a free Koi show T-shirt.
Okay. I thought you were going to say a pond bomb then.
Oh well, and it comes with a pond bomb, doesn't it?
Yeah, stitched in. Right, so you've given us an idea, right? The difference between the national, which is also club money that was transferred over many years.
Yeah.
However, your club members are live. It's money going in. You've got to pay it out in order to keep the club alive. That's the difference between the national and the Great British Koi Club. Is you're an actual club that operates versus the national, which puts a show on.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Yeah,
so if you bankrupt the club, then what?
Then we've got no money.
And he's not chairman next year.
No. Then I'll go ex-directory. I don't know. If people don't turn up, then I've got a problem. I'll admit that now.
Okay, why should they turn up though, Paul? Why should they? Why should they turn up rather than watching it on YouTube?
Why? I think we've got I think there's a big difference between us and the national. I really do, and I'll explain why. One, I can choose who comes because every dealer that comes has had a personal invite. I don't send emails out saying, please apply. You know what I mean? So I know who I want to come, right? And I think I've probably got the best wet dealers in the country. People may argue, but I think I have. I've also think that when you look at the dry stands, the craft stands, the little artisan hobbyists, or the artisan trade stands, I don't think they'll be anywhere else. And also, I only have one of something. You know what I mean? I've got Yasu coming, right? I wouldn't have another 5 clothing companies just to pack the haul out. You know, I've got a new guy coming this year that can, if you want something made in whatever they make showers out of, it's not plastic anymore, is it? But he can make it for you. It's things like that. If you're looking for something, you've also got the big companies there. You've got Absolute, obviously, and Profi Drum. You've got Burton's. You've got West Midlands that make or that import the red label. You've got EA. You've got ORs. So not only have you got the little small artisan crafts, you've also got the big multinationals.
You've also got Crafty Koi going, haven't you?
Yes, I have got the Crafty Koi company.
Right, yeah. I need to meet this person, mate, because he stole my name.
He's very crafty about it.
The amount of people that have messaged me and say, Crafty, are you going to the no, I'm not going to the Great British at all, no. I've seen your name on a stand. I said, it ain't me.
He's a club member. He is the nicest person. He only lives around the corner from me. He is the nicest person. He's got good taste.
He's got
what does he do? What's his stand all about? Pond.
He's retired, Roy, but he is so. I was going to say anal, but that's not the right word. He's so precise,
meticulous.
Oh yeah, the stuff that he makes. He got a 3D printer, and you know these Japanese, you see them great big Japanese 5-foot pagodas that you have in the garden, right? Well, he made one of those, but every piece was singular, right? And he put it all together, right? And Sue, his partner, painted it, right? And that's in the middle of his display, and I suppose it's about 2.5 foot high. Right, but everything was, you know, all the tiles were cut, all the finial, everything. And he just said, I want to do this as a hobby. Can I have a stand at the show? And I said, of course you can, Roy. And we go to his, we're going there in September, and it's Sue's birthday, and they're holding our summer barbecue. But he is the nicest man you'll ever meet.
So really make sure you go and pay him a visit, pick up your key rings. He does some nice lights, if I can remember last year when I was there.
He's made some presentation wine boxes, you know, that you would have a real proper nice bottle of wine in, but with the cork and the corkscrew and all engraved and burnt on and all that. And they're really nice. Yeah, just little things like that, you know, for gifts and stuff, but really, really good. So
superb. So other than trade stands,
yep.
Oh, I got an echo then. No, that's gone. How many vats do you have?
32. Can't get any more in. We
32.
We had 30 last year, and I had 200 mil between each vat. And I was just getting bombarded with people that wanted VAT. So I rang Phil and said, Phil, if we squashed all the vats up and literally had them touching, but with the screen coming down between them. So I think we're down about 50 mil between them. But actually the screen comes below the VAT, and then I got another 32 in.
So we got an extra couple of vats. How many are left for anybody that wants to show?
Oh, none. They're gone in minutes.
Waiting list?
11.
So popular.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's I had somebody message me saying I didn't get a VAT this year. I was waiting for my invitation. Well, no, I don't do that. You know, it's.
I mean, that's fair enough, Paul. I mean, is there a reason why you don't do that, or?
Yeah, there is. Absolutely, there is. If I started with 32 VATs 3 years ago and I sent an invite out to every one of them, right, nobody else would be able to come in and show. That's it. And if you want anybody else to show, it's just not the right thing in my eyes. You know, if we're not the biggest show by any stretch of the imagination, VAT wise, but I would like to think that people, because we're a club, it's got a club feel. You'll know what I'm talking about, Dave.
Yeah.
The people are different. We're all, you know what I mean? We mix every day, or every month, if not more than once a month. So people belong to the club and they're nice people. And people will come along. We will make them feel welcome. We'll introduce them to everybody, because if they're coming to the show, they're there on the Friday. They will see all the club members. They will meet all the other show people. We won't just let them stand there, bench to, you know, throw the fish in the vat and away. It don't happen like that. It's, you know what I mean?
So Matt Clowry asks, evening Matt, Paul, could you make it bigger?
We could. I struggle to get the water out the ground. And that's because each one of those vats holds 500 and something gallons. I'm not on the water team, but I know it's over 500 gallons. Then with the dealers, I'm going to be using about 70,000 gallons of water over that weekend.
So what's the outlay on water costs, roughly?
This year, I think it's going to be anywhere between 1,450 and 1,700 quid. A lot of that will be dependent on weather.
So, Dave, your guess of 4K has just been pretty much eaten up by about 42%. So
yeah, well, 4K will pay my electricity and water bill.
So here's one for you for the water. You can't get the water out the ground, but can you not get a water bowser? Because I know you can get massive water trucks, can't you, delivered? And
yeah, I can, Lee, but what you have to bear in mind is we are a club. We haven't got infinite resources. I haven't got infinite people that come and help, right? Yeah. At the moment, I think we are about as big as we're going to get with the manpower that we've got.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. If I hire another hall, that's going to be roughly £6,000 to £8,000, right? We did have a look at the end hall. We'll call it Hall 4, yeah. And I can get more vats in that, but I can't get anything else in.
But I don't think that's going to.
There's no. If I expand the vat ring to get more vat in, then it doesn't give me any space around the outside. So all you're going to do is have a hall full of vats, right? And at say 6,000 quid, right? That's a lot of money, because then they said, oh, you can take the hall out, which we will call between Hall 2 and 3, where Shosha is and Evolution Aqua are, you know, they're like back to back. So you can take that wall out, but that gives me less space than actually I've got now, because at the moment as the show chair, I can have people back to back on either side of the wall. If I take that wall out, that actually gives me less space to put people in. So it's really weird to increase the space but get less space available to me.
And also, I think opening up that other side with more vats isn't necessarily going to bring in more footfall.
No.
But what would bring in more footfall is possibly putting another show on. You could have a junior show as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, but then you look at the national; they've just moved to May.
Yeah,
haven't they? So that's the ideal. If you're going to do a young Scottish or you know what I mean, that's the ideal time for that. And then, you know, a month after us, you've got the All England in September at Dytling.
That's right.
So
that's actually a bit of a pain, because that is not quite 30 days apart from your show. It's literally 29 or 28 days apart.
Yeah, it was.
That's why I've never showed there.
Right. It was, and ours the week earlier last year. I think it was 23rd, 24th of August, because we always go with the bank holiday. I need the bank holiday to get the volunteers to break it down on the Monday.
Yeah.
So, but it's so yes, we can go bigger, but I don't. We did have a look at the big hall, the conference hall where Stone Dead Concert is.
Yeah.
Phil and myself had gone over there, and it is a magnificent hall.
I've been there as well to have a little mooch around. It is massive, isn't it?
It's polished concrete floor.
Yeah.
And it's proper conference centre stuff.
The lighting looks good in there too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all massive LED. They're like about the size of a football.
Paul,
just circles.
Do you think bank holidays has an adverse effect in any way? I mean, I'm only going by now. Of course, the National's gone to a bank holiday, and I look at it as not only from a dealer's perspective, but any dealer with like a bricks and mortar outlet, arguably bank holidays are a very busy time, beginning of the season for them. Also, let's be honest, Koi is predominantly for more males in Koi than ladies, and you find maybe more the ladies of the family want to go and do family things on bank holidays as opposed to going off to a Koi show, so it can jeopardize footfall.
I don't know. Do you know, a couple of years ago, when it rained at 45 degrees, it was absolutely bouncing on the Saturday morning. And I'm thinking, we're in real trouble here. You know what I mean? The rain was coming down at 45 degrees, and it was the best Saturday attendance we'd ever had.
Yeah, because it's indoors.
That's because it rained.
That's because it rained.
Exactly. But
a hot day, and then they do the opposite and go to the beach. Or go
and it's the thing is, I look at it as, from a personal point of view, I wouldn't want it on a bank holiday. But then, how do I ask people to give up another day's pay to come and break it down? You know what I mean? So I think we had 15 there, because it takes us a week to build, right? But I've got to be out of there by Monday afternoon. I've got to be out. So whatever we do on the 4-5 days that we're there has got to be gone in 8 hours, because we have to pay 25% of the building of the loan cost for a breakdown day. So and that's as it is. If it runs into that, then if it runs into 2 days, then that's 50% of what we're paying for the weekend.
The difference between making anything and losing a load of money.
Yeah. So, and it is the hardest day. We had a couple of lads, Paul Clark with Sparky and his brother. They stayed until 2-3 o'clock on Sunday night into Monday morning, just emptying vats, because it's not as though I can just open the valves. I have to pump everything out. Everything has to be pumped out. There's 16,000 gallons of water that's got to be pumped out.
Do you allow any volunteers to come and help if they're not part of the club?
Of course we do. Yeah, we have loads, and they're more than welcome.
How can they get in contact with you if they're watching the show and want to give you a few hours?
Well, you've got my number. Lee's got my number. Dave's got my number.
Yeah.
If they want to contact you, I won't say my number on here now, because
no, of course not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So, guys, anybody out there want to volunteer for potentially helping to set up and break down, just contact either of us, and we'll forward your names and give you your numbers to Paul. 100%.
And people do come along and they stick with us, because although it's hard graft, we have a good crack as well. It's not.
You know something. What I really liked about when I traded at yours, mate, from a dealer perspective, was when the girls come round with a can of pop and a sandwich, mate. And I'm not just thinking of me belly, mate, because honest to God, when them doors open and
it's a nightmare,
the masses come through in, mate, you are 110%. What, you can't come away And if you can, it's literally for a toilet break and back. So trying to get a break is really difficult. That makes such a massive difference.
In fact, I'm one up with you this year. I've got Brandon from Aqua Aeration Solutions to make me a catheter. So I don't have to leave my stand, which I think is going to give me the edge over Dave this year.
Are you going to run that outside to the
Lee? I could have done that.
Yeah, no, it's just going to a P-sack with some Z-Light on my hip.
No, I'll say the same as Crafty. I thought that part of the show was fabulous from day one, almost to the point the ladies almost force you to have something to eat, and I mean that in the nice sense. But they're that forward in making sure that you're fed and watered. It's fabulous.
That's so true, mate. It's so true. I mean, forgive me for not knowing the names. I'm rubbish with names. You know that. But I remember saying I don't want nothing, and mate, 20 minutes later they're like your nan coming back. You sure you don't want something? Like, you know, they know if you ain't had nothing, they come back and like you've got to have something.
But the thing is, Crafty, you're coming to which is essentially a club show by invitation, right? So you're treated as part of the club because we've invited you in. So we will treat everybody as well as we would treat any other club member that's there.
I mean,
as much as we can.
And absolutely right. You know, for me, and I'm going to, in fact, before I answer, right, the difference, what do you see the difference being between any other koi show and the Great British? Dave, Lee, why should people attend? What makes it different?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I've been an exhibitor there every year it's run. Apart from this year, I'm lucky enough to get a wet stand there. Now, for me, being an exhibitor for the last 5 years there, it's just a lovely environment. Everyone is so friendly. The camping, the community with all the exhibitors camping on site is second to none. And we're just treated like, well, family members there, basically, at least. Club members, we're always invited in to have some spaghetti bolognese or, a bap in the morning, something like that. And it's a really nice show. It's inside. I think the venue's really good. It's inside. You've never got a hassle with it, with the weather, whatever's going to happen. The water's always really good. My fish are always quite happy when they're there, and they settle in really well when they come back as well, which is really important, I think, for any kind of show. I think it's just really a nice show. That's it, really. It's top notch, really, isn't it? That's it.
Dave,
we try.
Yeah, I mean, I'll echo what Lee said. I mean, the show is so friendly. If anybody's never been to a show before, and if anybody is showing there for the first time, I think you're going to be really quite surprised how well you'll be received and looked after because. As you know, Paul, we normally go on the Wednesday to set up. So
you do.
The banter starts then, really, doesn't it? It starts from the Wednesday and it rolls on until we roll out of there Sunday. So the atmosphere of that show is superb, and I quite like it the way there's a good atmosphere all weekend at that show. All weekend.
I think what makes the different atmosphere is that nobody is enclosed. You can stand, literally, Dave, you can stand there, you can look all across the show vats right the way into the first and second hall. There isn't, you know what I mean? You can say, here comes the rush, or, you know what I mean, it's gone quiet, I'll nip for a pee, because you can see people moving around.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But you overlook the whole show ring. Yeah.
And I hope as many people who watch this and who get to watch this in the next coming weeks, or next week at least, do make an effort and come and support the show, because I am a firm believer that koi keeping for us starts with the shows. We need the shows as much as the hobbyists probably need the dealers to attend them. I think it all works hand in hand, and I just love the shows. I always have done. That's why I've done them for 20 odd years, I guess.
Do you know what I found about the shows? My first show was in 2018. When I first showed just at the little club show, and I got a first in size 2 Shiro at Surrey, Right, I was absolutely chuffed to bits because you don't go with expectations, do you? You go to learn and to look, but I just find it that you can turn up at a show, you can meet somebody, you can have a right good chat, and you may not see him for 12 months.
I know,
but you will remember that person if you come back to the Great British. You will remember that person and you will pick up where you left off 12 months ago.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things I enjoy at the shows because, you know, we've been going long enough now. We've got customers as far as Cornwall and as high as right up in Scotland. And when they go to the only chance of meeting these people face to face is generally at one of the koi shows. And it's so nice that you can do that year on, year out. And you get to see these same people every year. And you, as you rightly said, you left off from the conversation that you started the year before almost. And I think the show scene is fabulous. And I do really hope that people do support your show next week.
So do I.
I think they will. I mean, for me, the difference is because you are inside, the distance from the outer ring being the trade stands, irrespective of what trade it is, to the centre ring of the show vats is enclosed enough that vibe of how many people are in there, it fills the room. And you know, when you've got a massive space with 200 people in it, that thins it out, that destroys the atmosphere a little bit. But when you start bringing everyone in, people start chatting, people start to talk to each other, people ask each other opinions, people meet people, and the laughter that you hear just really raises the vibe that's in there. And that's why I think that a lot of people like Gavin, says favourite show, definitely feels the most welcoming.
Thank you, Gavin.
On top of those sort of things, that's what sets you apart a little bit from other shows. It's just how tightly enclosed it is, and it's not a small space; it's a big space. But the way that it's mapped works really well.
And I think what's nice as well, Craft, is that, you know, I know shows have to operate different because of the building or the under canvas thing that they're having to deal with, but it's quite nice that you're not boxed in as a dealer.
Yeah.
No.
You know, I think it's quite nice. You can speak to Lee, speak to Doc Coy over the railings, and you can see Shirley Aquatics, and you don't feel as if you're in your own little box all weekend. It's quite nice to have that.
Well, I've been there as a dealer and an exhibitor.
Yeah.
You know, because as much as I wish that I could like put a stand on there, if it just physically can't happen because of the bank holiday weekend for us, it's just too busy in the calendar year. And we tried it and it didn't work. For that reason is the only reason that we don't attend. But I do try and get away on one of the days to come up to support the show. So I see it from both points. We're as busy as a trader, but going up there, and like what you said earlier, Dave, about being on the other side of the fence, it's nice to meet up with people, have a look at what other dealers are selling, because for me as a dealer, my fish, you know, nothing wrong with what I sell, but it's always nice to see what other dealers have got, because there's so many fish out there. Like when I was at the North England Koi Show with Lee, going around just looking at it was nice to see what Lee's got in comparison, you know, because when you don't all see the same fish, and it's nice to see what gets selected, because I would buy from other dealers, because some dealers may have the fish that I like, and I have bought from other dealers, you know, that's just the way it goes. So when you actually look at the attendance, not just trade stand members, when you look at the centre ring and the exhibitors, the standard of fish, I think, is actually very good for the amount of vats that you have. You know,
I think it's amazing, to be fair, and I think that's purely because we limited one vat, one person.
Have you put your candles out, Paul?
No, do you want me to turn the light on?
He's saving that on that Lecky bill.
Yeah, I got to keep the pond warm.
Lisa's pulled up a good question as well on mine, Crafty. Where is it? Which might lead into another good conversation. Is where was it? How much does it cost for a show vat at this one?
£65.
Whoa, cheap.
Very cheap. I think very cheap for what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm not a business. You know what I mean? We might have to look at it. You know, our water costs have gone a bit mental this year. We might have to look at it next year because it's, what's it, 220 gallons is about £9.
I mean,
220 gallons is just short of it's about £4.50. So I'll put 10 quid's worth of water in the vat straight away, and that's without the trickle and the dechlorinator and anything else that I've got to put in the water if the water's not.
It's a shame you couldn't
good.
work out an actual figure, and that's what the vat cost.
Yeah, somebody will work it out. 2 litres a minute from Friday at 5 o'clock.
Go on, someone's on there. 2 litres a minute for how many days?
Will be Friday night, Saturday night, all day Sunday till what?
Crafty's on it now. Crafty loves it. He loves a spreadsheet. Crafty does.
I mean,
right freak.
That isn't.
And then turn that into gallons.
Yeah, that's not a lot of money at all, really. I don't think, Paul. I mean, I would envisage at some point that costs keep rising it on every front: electric, water, the building costs, and I guess it's going to have to be down for everybody to make enough. They pay dealers, hobbyists.
I think this is the third year where we've borne the rise in costs. You know what I mean? Whether it's the building, the water, the electric, the campsite, obviously we have to pay for as well, even though we're there anyway.
So 2 litres a minute over 48 hours, roughly, is 5,760 litres.
What's that, 1,000 gallons?
But how many litres? 5,000?
Yeah, I'm converting it now.
No, that would be 2,000 gallons.
So 1,267 UK gallons.
Right, there
right. And I'm paying £4.50 for 220 gallons.
Wow.
So start with the 500 that's already in there, and 1,700 gallons then, yeah, ish.
Can you not put a question out?
How many vats have you got?
32.
Could you not put a question out, Crafty, that if anybody's watching that is going to be showing an increase in VAT costs, would that put them off?
Well, I've asked this question before.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, and everybody that was watching that live at the time come back and said, yes, we will pay that money. And that was 2 years ago.
I think most hobbyists would, because it's their hobby, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
So have we worked out how much that would cost per vat?
I'm just working it out now. How many vats was it?
32.
Well, how much is it for one vat? Just because I want to know how much money's worth of water goes into a £65 charge for an exhibitor.
Paul, year on year out, what is
how much was you paying a litre, Paul?
Setting up the show, finance.
Sorry, I'm paying about £4.50 per cubic yard, so it's 220 gallons.
Did you hear that, Paul?
Sorry, mate.
Year on year, what is the hardest one thing about setting the show up or organising the show? Is it solely the finances?
No, it's
volunteers.
£25.92 is what you're paying per vat.
Water. Is that including the 500 to start with?
No, that's just per vat.
Yeah. So then you got 500 gallons on top of that, so another £9.
Yeah, that's without any treatments.
Yeah, that's without the dechlorinator or the 300 quid I'll spend on Prime this year. What's the hardest thing? For me, it's just a constant slog. You know what I mean? We'll have the wrap up in September, and we'll decide then, was it worth it? What are we doing it for? Do we want to carry on? Because some people were there 8 days, like Malcolm's got his feet in salt water. They were just blistered. You know what I mean? It was just, and he says, never again. Then give him a week, and he went, yeah, we'll do it.
As a dealer, we say that after every show.
Yeah. But the thing is, we're doing it for nothing. We don't get nothing out of this.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Not a thing. We don't ask for anything, and that's what I said. If I make anything at the show, it is purely given back to members on anything I can give them. But I'll start if the committee say yes, then I'll start working on it in November to try and get my sponsors in place. Because without my sponsors, I know it sounds strange, sponsors, right? But I've got 8 sponsors. So one of those is the food FD. Don't see any of that. Darren is the plaques with absolute profies. Don't see them. Shosha is the crystal. So don't see that. You know what I mean? Justin, a beautiful koi, bless him. Brilliant. He's paid for our T-shirts. So that saved us 4 figures this year that he sorted out with Carly. But that has all gone. I don't actually see that. You know what I mean? People say, what do you spend on prizes? Because, you know, you might go to one show and you get a plate, and the other show you get a trophy. Well, my crystal bill this year was 1,918 quid. Right? That's just for the guys from Shosha Koi. And then the plaques will be 1,700 quid.
There's one there.
Yeah.
Could do with a polish, that, son.
I know, it's got all my koi teeth in it though.
And a dust. But the thing is, it's not just about giving back, because people bring their koi to trust us, right? So Frank's going to do his detox again. Every winner, whether it's best in variety or the majors, will get a bag of that. FD are doing the food. We're giving that away. We're doing the crystal again. We're doing the plaques again. We're doing the rosettes again. You know, and it's all about, actually, if you bring in and you're winning something at our show, you know what I mean? Let's take some nice prizes home. And yeah, of course I will. Absolutely, 100%. So
just for those listening when they're driving and not listening to the live, Matt Clowry asked, could you open it up to sponsorship to companies not associated with koi? Response, Paul?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
So it's anybody that wants to get involved with sponsorship, again, contact
SpaceX and Tesla. I'll get on the phone.
Well, the thing is, I always, like all the sponsors, I try and give something back. You know what I mean? It's like Darren will do the plaques, Mike will do the crystal, FD will do the food. You know what I mean? We don't see any of that, but actually I try and give that back with the advertising. You know, it's the same as the raffle prizes. If somebody wants to give me a raffle prize, I will advertise it. The show layout has hit 32,000 looks this year. Now, apparently they're all going to turn up with their families.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Lisa Leach states this, Paul. You've got to watch you don't overprice the VATs, as some won't be able to pay it. A small extra increase won't be as bad. Absolutely. And this is what I'm saying. It's a very much a balancing act. I'm not in it to make a profit, but then again, I can't bankrupt the club. So if I can reach a happy medium, so that's why my sponsors like Ryan are so important, and Greg and Craig at Aqua Group are so important to me, because they're money that's coming into the club. I don't know how much it's going to be. I've got no idea. But like EA, they're brilliant every year. Fantastic. You know what I mean? I just say, will you sponsor it? Yeah, it can have the same pitch done, finished, done. And it can be as quick as that.
I think that comment, a small increase. A fiver.
But if we're seeing
a fiver doesn't make a difference at all over 30 VATs. A fiver's.
No, and this is the other thing you have to weigh up, Dave. Right? Yeah. So we're at 65 quid, right? So if I put it up a fiver, right, and it gets on somebody's nerves, right, I've actually raised what, 150 quid. Do I need that for 150 quid?
No.
Or can I find that 150 quid somewhere else? Because that's only 20 people coming through the door. You know what I mean? And you're sitting there and you're thinking, do I? It was like, do I put the price up to £8.50? You know what I mean, for entrance, or do we just leave it again at £7.50? So we leave it again at £7.50, knowing, hoping that people that come last year said it's good, and they might bring a few others, so that wouldn't put off. You know what I mean? All these things.
Something in Japan, though, Paul. Right? I believe you've showed in Japan. Am I right or wrong?
No,
you've not.
I can't afford that.
So this is exactly my point, right? If you pay a fee per fish, not per VAT, right? And I know that it's Japan, and I know that it's supposedly all of the best fish in the world. All right, we know full well that's not the case, right? But when you're looking at the other increasing costs that we're seeing in the UK, and that's everybody, all right, club included. Right, we've had guesses on how much it would cost to put a show on. All right, give us a ballpark figure, Paul, on how much it costs for you to put your show on.
Round about 42,000.
42. Let's have a quick look at some of the guesses, because again, you're not getting that money up front, right?
No, we all the money from the trade stands is in now. You know what I mean? So that's in, and I think Phil's, well, I know he's squared Newark up, but then we've got costs that will come after the show. You know what I mean? Like your electricity and your water and your cleaning bill, because we pay hundreds of pounds in cleaning. You know what I mean? Just Eurobins and waste bins and cafe cleanup and all that sort of thing.
Well, closest so far.
There's not been many. Not been many.
That's only because he keeps asking me how much it is every time I speak to him.
12 grand.
Wow.
12,867 to be exact.
I think I pay more.
Alan's still living in the dark ages, I think.
Ollie that works with me says it's a tenner and a kebab. I think he's worth a t-shirt just for that answer. 30k from Knight's Koi. 45. Oh, who did we have before? How much was it? 42.
On my channel, I've got a couple of 45s and a couple of 40s. So
yeah,
they're all in between.
I see it all on my screen anyway, Lee.
Yeah.
So 38 from Phil. 40.
That's
the closest so far.
But that's 15, why it's so important. I know for people that are turning up and pay £7.50 to get in, but
22,
it's 18, so important for people to turn up and help us keep this going.
2.5 and 4. So I think the closest.
That last one is bang on. Look.
I think it's about 40. I think that's probably my closest. I really don't get involved in the finance of the club, if that makes sense.
No, but I think it's gonna surprise quite a few people, Paul. Just exactly how much is needed and required to put on a show of that stature.
Yeah, it's because it's things like car park attendance. We pay night security. We pay Friday and Saturday night. You know what I mean? It's
add-ons.
All these little things. It's like Seachem Prime. If I get a problem in the vats where the ammonia spikes, or you know what I mean, whatever it is, that I have to have enough prime to get me through the weekend, and that's 300 quid.
Yeah.
Dechlorinator, bless Moritz and Aquadistry. You know what I mean? He sees me right with Fish Protect.
Yeah.
But that would be 350, 400 quid just to chlorinate the water.
Yeah.
So
the attendance, Paul, has it year on year grown at all, or has it now stabilised at
it's stabilised round about I think the best we had, because a couple of years ago we changed. I know this is going to sound a right politician's answer. Right? I know. But we used to charge. It was something like under 12's free, but 12 to 16 or something was £2, because then we'd have banners, badges, thingies to count, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But now it's people. So really, we're only counting adults. So we're averaging out about 2,000 paying adults.
Paying adults, right? Okay.
Paying adults, yeah.
Yeah.
So if we can get to 2,200, I'll be absolutely chuffed to bits. You know,
well,
it's,
hopefully it'll happen this year, Paul. I see no reason it shouldn't.
I don't. I think if you're looking to start a koi pond, if you want anything for your garden, we're lucky enough to have Pat coming from Hippopotter in Maples, Aces, the working Acer farm, and they're always a big attraction. She came a couple of years ago and bought a lorry load on the Friday, and I think everything about 6 foot and over was sold to dealers on the Friday night and exhibitors, because she was absolutely gutted that when she opened up, she only had the smaller ones to sell the public. You know, but yeah,
I mean,
I
I think now, Paul, there's one thing for sure. If this show did decide not to go ahead, it would leave a massive gap in the show scene now, because it's become a show that everybody wants to go to and everybody talks about, isn't it now? So it would be a great shame if it didn't.
Yeah, I say we've created a monster in the nicest possible way.
Yeah.
The actual work that starts in November, because I try and get the sponsors. Then we've got to decide on, because the show poster that I started, we would always have a special award, because awards are another topic altogether. But we always have a special award. But I always want it to cross varieties, because you know, whether it's like Tancho this year, it's Tancho any variety. So Tancho Goshki, Tancho Chiba, Tancho Kajaku, up against all the others. But that's chosen by our wet sponsors, which will be Mike, Darren, Greg and Ryan. You know what I mean? So that becomes a little bit more personal, if you like.
Yeah.
But we'll try and get the show poster out, and that will just be the hint of what's on the show, or what's going to be the special award this year, because I wanted it to be attainable for anybody. You know, it's like
Paul?
Last year, best King Ginrin. What?
Hand one, hand two.
Right?
Choose one. Hand one or hand two?
We'll go hand two.
Hand two.
Yeah.
T-shirt winner, Darren Rollins.
Well done.
The other person
Well done,
was on there. I don't know if you can see it, but the other person was on there. There you go. So Darren, whoever it is, your choice, contact one of us and we'll get the details sent over to Yasu Koi. So sorry about that. I weren't listening to a lot of what you were saying, because for somebody that does so much social work, not social worker, but work on social media and other little projects, do you think I could find a fucking notepad? Like literally nowhere. The missus has definitely hid them. That's not where I put them. So, but anyway, well done, mate. You've got yourself a T-shirt. Your special award, mate, is what I'm assuming you was talking about.
Yeah. We've done. What do we do? Any Ginrin. This year will be any Tancho, any variety. Because
that's going to open up a little bit of discussion.
Yeah, and that's what it's about.
How many Tanchos are there?
Well, officially, there's only 3. Well, there isn't there. But if you bring a Tancho,
that's my point. I'm being a knob as always.
If you bring a Tancho Kajaku, it may be absolutely fantastic, but it won't win best in variety. It's not got a pattern. So
it's not a Tancho.
So you've got
not a
special variety Tancho. Is that just to challenge the judges this year, Paul?
No, absolutely not. No, we did best Ginrin last year, any variety. It was just happened that Carl's Kahaku won it last year. you know, won the best Ginrin, but any Ginrin. So this year will be any Tancho, whether it be Goshki, Achieva, Kajaku, anything at all. But that will cross all varieties, all classes. Anything Tancho will go in and be picked by the wet sponsor dealers, because there is so many Tanchos. How many Tancho Kajakus? How many Tancho Achievers? Budo Garomo, you know, all that sort of stuff. Then it would just be a bit of fun.
What about reverse Tancho?
Oh,
that's a good point. If I get one, I'll let you know, but it won't.
Does it count?
One of the coolest Tanchos I seen in Japan a few years ago was in Nagamis, and I seen a Karashi guy with a black Tancho spot. Yeah. It was sick. But
it's we've got to think of something to do next year. I've got an idea, but it's
best short-bodied koi.
No.
Best Tamasaba.
No.
Why not?
But thanks for the offer. No. No, we might.
Short-bodied koi.
We haven't
in the comments. Best for a special award for next year. Let's give Paul some ideas.
Yeah,
because we've got 140 people watching, mate. So
I'll tell you
potential ideas.
I'll tell you my idea now, right? You look at all the different varieties that are coming out now, whether it be your Aragokis, whether it be your golden corn.
So why don't you do best Aragoki?
That's just
Why don't I do most unique? Because that spans everything.
Yeah,
you could do, but do you know what? When I was walking, me and Ryan was walking around the National Koi Show. Why don't you do an award for best presented vat of fish or something like that, or has it got to be a variety?
I've got to have something to put on the show poster, Lee, and that's me.
Okay, I've got you.
I really like the fact that you don't put the GC on your poster from last year.
No,
I like that. I mean, it's. You know, I don't think winning the GC. Everyone seems to have jumped on the bandwagon that the GC must be the advertisement for the next year, right? Whether or not a tradition, I don't know. I like different, and the fact that you've gone.
Yeah, it's good.
No,
it's good.
It's a good idea. It's a very
and
good
also idea. And also the way that Paul does it, it's normally always a different fish. Well, it will be a different fish every single year. Yeah. Best GC, it could be the same fish year after year.
3 years running, yeah.
Exactly, you know, and it also could be the same fish on someone else's poster, because GC, a Chips GC from the National, if he was showing at the Great British, is a bloody good chance it could be GC there as well.
But I think that what I try and do as well is look at what people are buying, not just the people that show fish, but actually people that come to the show, what they're buying, right? I've seen so many Tancho Kajaku's been bought. You know what I mean? People have bought boxes of them in. I've seen Budo Garomos, especially from Agata.
They was all crap.
Yeah, but Budo Garomo, there was quite a few of them in the Agata auctions that flew out.
But there was a lot of them for sale last year. Full stop. They seem to be the fish that the Japanese sort of like shocked us with, because we was expecting more Ginrin, Gosanki, and they was actually few and far between.
Yeah, it was. I just, if somebody wants to come to the show, I think that if I put out, I don't know, just call it best unique or most unique, actually, that gives everybody that comes to the show, wants to show, has got a chance.
Best Aragoki, that would really annoy Alan Tate. That's actually a really good one, to be honest, because they're really popular at the moment. No, but seriously, that's a good shout.
Yeah, but if we did unique, it could cover everything, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could do. You can have a unique anything, can't you?
Absolutely right.
I think it's a great award to have, because it gives something new every year.
Yeah,
you know, it's not the run of the mill awards. It's although you've got your you've got to have your your GC, adult, mature.
Yeah, your 13 show classes. Yeah, I just want I want something to cross over.
In fairness, there's cracking looking koi every year that you see that you just know are not going to win in that category.
Yeah.
All that variety.
Like,
They're not win, but actually they are stunning koi, but they're
you know
just
what?
different.
Couple of years ago, it was about that. It was opposite Ryan. Would have been about that 28, 29, right on the corner. There wasn't one Go Sankey in the vat, and it was an absolutely stunning vat. You know, there was Goshki, Ginrin Goshki, Kage Shiro, which caught. You know, when you just look at something, you go, "Wow, that's a proper Kage Shiro," and they never took anything because they were. But for a vat of fish and a pond of fish, you just thought, do you know what I mean? Absolutely staggering. And that's why I got the idea that actually these should be in the mix for an award. We call them, they're part of our majors, because my ideal would have been, which I'm still floating around, I wanted an award in every size. That was my ideal. When we were toying with the idea of having a size 1 mini champion, but then you look at it, 2.8 vat, maximum of 14 fish. I could have had like 14 size 1s to try and win the mini champion in a 2.8 vat. Not only would it be a nightmare to bench, you know what I mean, but it's not. So we've stuck with baby, but we introduced the junior 3 years ago. We called it the junior champion, even though I had to keep rewording everything, because at the time we were part of the BKKS, so I had to call it, what do I have to call it? Best in size 3, our junior champion, you know. So then we got young adult, mature champion for us will always come from size 6. We will have a superior champion in 7, and GC best in show, without obviously no size category, because you can't put a size on GC, can you?
I don't think so.
You can't, can you? You can't say it's got to come from size 6 and 7 because it's best coin show. That's the only description, isn't it?
Yeah, totally agree.
But,
right, so some of the comments, Paul, Lee, Dave, Rachel says, apart from me and Dave, who's a partner, I've blagged it with her kids. Koi shows we've been to so far, kids aren't allowed. However, she's braving it with a family, so you need to watch out. They're a bunch of they come to our shop all the time. Just offer them ice cream. It quietens right down.
Do you know what? Hey, I tried to get a Mr. Whippy ice cream, right? So I'm thinking, can't be a big issue, can it? Just tell the guy, turn up. There's like 2,000 adults and I don't know how many kids.
Did you have to guarantee it? I bet.
No, he wanted me to pay him 400 quid a day to turn up and then keep all the money.
And then rip everyone off for an ice cream.
Okay, now Lee, are we going to turn up with a couple of big box freezers with choc ices and?
You know it, mate. We're gonna rake it in. I'll be outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I'll
we'll get Kate to do
it.
Yeah.
We'll get Katie to dress up in a Mrs. Whippy suit.
Knights Boy says he just drags the missus along. She's got no choice. He would just threaten that the wedding's off if not.
Fair play.
Fair play, yeah. Brave man.
So going back to why koi shows are important, Koi Pond Vibe states the shows are just a good way to meet new people, have a chat to so many people in the hobby. Couldn't agree more with that.
Yeah.
You know, that's we used to have a saying in the army where business was done in the mess. You know, it's like that is the only way that you're getting to meet new people or sort things out is actually when you're doing something in a space where everyone meets.
Well, we never get, or I never get feedback. So I watch a lot of the YouTube videos to see what people think of it, because you know what I mean, they're honest, they're going around and doing it, and it's quite funny that actually that YouTubers all sort of gather just outside or just in front of the entrance, and they're all chatting to each other, filming each other. You know, oh, this is him, this is him, this is him. Yeah, but just I want to know what's around the show and give us some feedback. Go on, sod off.
Well, I'll tell you what I might try and do is get all of the show chairs from the UK on at the same time with us, and we'll open the floor for feedback and discussion, right? So you can all share each other's little misdemeanors, right? Because
Yeah,
you
I
guys
think,
don't talk enough. I'll be
I
perfectly
think,
honest.
well, we were all governed by BKKS rules, and we are certain to a certain extent with the koi show rules, you know.
Of course you
But
are.
there's some interpretations on things that I don't agree on with other shows.
Yeah, but
That's
if we get feedback from the floor, the people
yeah,
come in, right? It may be the fact that we can spark an idea that you can take on, or you can
yeah,
eliminate.
absolutely.
You know,
I'll
so
take anything.
and not
Yeah,
only that, but we get everyone together. We're all like-minded. We all like turning up, looking at the shows. We all like to be part of the shows. We all like to run the shows. We all got koi clubs. You
yeah.
know, why don't we meet in a
I'm,
good little room like this? Put it as like an open meeting to everyone that wants to watch.
Get your
Right?
gloves on and just mill.
Yeah, and you know,
do you know what?
good, bad, or
The back of
indifferent,
Dave's
we'll
chair
chat
looks a
about
bit
it.
dodgy, doesn't it?
I know,
The back
yeah.
of his,
Looks like an
doesn't it?
upside down pair of lips.
Do you want to see what's under the desk? So when I said why should we go there instead of just watching it on YouTube, again, Koi Pond vibes. Watching it on the screen is definitely not the same as
No.
being there in person.
No, definitely
And
not.
I think that actually, I think it was Ian Jenkins when we were speaking about the national, stated you just cannot physically see the quality of the fish on a 2D image. Being there and seeing it is completely different.
Do you know what? I can second that, because you never get an idea of the size of the fish. Don't matter how good it is, don't matter how big it is, you never get an idea of the size. And that's for instance, my dad went to the Grand Canyon, right? And just sent me a picture. He said, "Oh, we're at the Grand Canyon." I thought, "Now,
Just the
special, is
Grand
it?"
Canyon.
Yeah, but it don't look nothing on a picture. And when he tells you it's like a mile deep or whatever it is, and you go, "Oh, that's quite deep, then, isn't it?"
Yeah, when it stood at the bottom or free falling for 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's. But yeah, I'll be going with that. It's as I say, we're still governed with certain rules, but I will tweak them, or
As
we.
required.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to bring any negativity to the show. You know what I mean? It's
I think we're managing to stamp out negativity, if I'm honest.
and I'm not interested in negativity. I do this because I love doing it. I love the hobby and I love the people in it. And if I didn't, I wouldn't spend the best part of 10 months of the year just working to try and put this on. You know, because it is work.
Right, mate.
You know, well, Dave will know. When do I ring you, Dave? About middle of January?
Yeah.
Saying we're back on.
Yeah.
You know, there's I think 2 or 3 people that aren't coming, couple of retirements. Bonsai, what's his name? Corin's not coming because he's teaching for the weekend. I think Dan at Northine Nets is now through SKS Wholesale. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
those
but
gaps
Northine should still be there.
No, they're through SKS now, Wholesale.
Mate, they can still be there.
No, he couldn't. It wasn't possible for him to be there.
Oh, mate, I'll have words.
But too late now. Gone.
Yeah,
but then you
only focus what we can do, not what we can't, right?
yeah.
Never
But then
say
you look
never.
at right. So what have I got left, and what do I need? What will bring me something else to the show that I haven't got now? And then you start thinking, you know, because you've got
a karaoke booth.
Could be ice cream machine.
Well,
Yeah,
you've
an ice
got a
cream
rock
machine.
concert that no one else has got.
Ben and Jerry's.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, we always visit the rock concert, Lee.
Well, we always get invited to the rock concert. I would like
that's
to
what
say.
I meant, mate. Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Like
looking
through a
forward
back
to that.
door.
Well, a couple of years ago we got free tickets. Then last year we had to sneak in, didn't we?
Yeah, no, we didn't sneak in. Pull. We got invited in.
Oh, you got invited.
That's right. And we was drinking some mad, weird beer. Do you remember? And
Oh my God, what was it made out of? Piss and cabbage.
Rhubarb.
It was gross.
But we carried
Rhubarb
on drinking
ale.
it, nevertheless.
Oh, it was gross.
It was.
But
Right. But one question that obviously gets asked a lot, and I'll put my 2 pence worth on this, is there should be more done for children. Right? It's a koi show. It's what more do you need? A bouncy castle, a fun fair, the dodgems.
We started that before everybody else, to be honest. So we got the colour. We did the colouring competition 3 years ago, didn't we? Because then
I think I won that one, to be honest.
You did, yeah.
Actually, at the North of England core show, they'd done that, and one of the staff was sat there colouring.
But who started all that? Who started all that?
Mate, it don't matter if it works, doesn't it? If it's
exactly right.
Good thing, it's a good thing.
So we've got the face painting now as well. The colouring competition. Free? I don't get involved in that. Somebody says, should we have the face painting? I say, yeah. And that's it. They sort that out. And if we've got to pay, then send the bill to Phil. And, it's one of them, isn't it? It's like the colouring competition. I know it's not a lot, but it still costs us a couple of £100, I think.
Yeah, of course it does. So Little G says, the shows are mega important, gives everyone a chance to see the potential of the fish and get some great bargains and see a lot of stuff they probably wouldn't see.
Yeah, and that's the thing about only having one of something. Because I've got Rebecca Chetter that does slate.
Yeah.
I've got Ben that does granite. I've got Lebo that does wood. I've got your mate Crafty Koi that does vinyl and plastic. There are other people that want to come, but actually all I'll do is duplicate what I've got and dilute what they would do.
Their own speciality is.
Absolutely.
Can't we just do that with the wet dealers and I'd be the only one?
Could do.
Right, but as you brought them up, a wet dealer's giving you a chance to purchase and hold fish while you walk the event, etc. That goes without a doubt. That will happen. So they'll hold in a box there, I should imagine.
Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah.
And then because at the end of the day, we send fish out on a 24-hour courier. So if we can't box them up, bag them, box them, and leave them with your name on the box ready for you to collect when you want to go home, and the fish not be bad, then there's something wrong with the dealer. But
we also, if you're attending 2 days in a row and you're obviously running in to get your prize koi wherever you want to buy it from the Saturday, but you're not leaving till a Sunday. We can also keep those as well.
Yeah.
You do that, Dave? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep them. If somebody's there for the whole weekend, we'll just put it into another vat that we can clearly see it's something different. It's in that vat, and then they can collect. We'll box it up Sunday for them. All the other purchases,
exactly the way to do it, isn't it?
We'll box them up as soon as they're purchased. We did it slightly different at the National, depending on because of the temperatures we had there this year. We did it just a little bit different, but usually we'll box it up straight away. Their name goes on it, and it'll be absolutely fine in that box for hours and hours. So no issues.
Probably better actually in a box out the way than getting looked at and netted. Do you know what I mean? So actually, it's probably better for them.
Yeah, it saves any mistake as well, doesn't it?
Here's one for you, Dave. Blow smoke up your ass. Wayne Margaret's son, you probably know him. No disrespect, but Dave Fish is some of the best at any show.
No, him, I paid him.
Oh, you paid? Okay, that's there you go, mate. Sponsorship's always a good one.
Thank you.
Pond Vibe, first time going this year, and they can't wait. There you go, mate. So there's a new set of feet coming through. While we're on that, in the comments, because I've slowed down, if anyone's going for the first time, put it in there. So, excuse me, Paul has an idea of how many newbies that he's expecting. That'll be good. Right, Atsumi, thanks for watching. Here we go for some amazing take on what's going on. It is the show where interaction amongst people takes priority over the proper growth and development of koi and our hemp yukai. It's never held in the midst of the growing season.
I think that's a copy and paste, because I think that's just about every time he says it.
For me, okay, Atsushi has got, sometimes his translation doesn't come across properly because just the way that he presents himself. However, he has got a thing about koi being shown during the summer months. Unfortunately, this is where it makes a difference, and I'll speak from a business perspective, right? So, as a business in winter, from dealers, we've got fuck all stock to offer. The water temperatures from ponds at the shop versus what can be kept at a show are miles apart. That's the second thing. Number 3, British don't like cold, wet mornings and dark nights and whatnot. So the amount of people turning up during the winter, it's been done before in the UK, has actually bankrupted a club because there wasn't the dealerships, the weather weren't the best and it was too cold, and English just don't get off their arse during the winter periods for events. Hence the reason our season for doing stuff is spring through to mid-autumn, I would say. On top of that, we are not like the breeders over in Japan where they can move fish about easily because they're tozai and whatever. The business is still rolling in the background. Over here, people that show have to get their fish to a point where they're ready for the show. So the water parameters are within, they know if they want to grow out or they want to keep the koi. No pressure for people to show. People show because they want to show. So although I understand where you're coming from, because it's not ideal doing it in the middle of summer. We've seen that at the National. It's not, right? But ultimately, if we don't do it at the periods that we do, which are tried, tested, and ran, we wouldn't have a show. And how many shows can you fit in the winter, right? That's a good point. It's not just one show a year, is it?
No, and it's been tried, as you said, 3 or 4 times and always failed.
One club actually went into the red and broke and stopped existing because of it.
Yeah.
What club was that?
I'm not going to say.
Because I haven't heard that, but
There
yeah,
used to be a winter show at the race course, didn't there?
That's correct.
Yeah, you know, it's been done, and it's not carried on because it's just next to impossible to get. You know,
yeah, it was freezing. The water was freezing. So if anybody that's got a heated pond, not a chance of dropping it.
So actually,
where
he's going on about the development and all that kind of stuff, most of the, I would say, more serious hobbyists in the UK, they get their growing season through the winter, pretty much.
Yeah.
Certainly up to January, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So,
you know, there is difference of opinions. He's got his right to an opinion. Right? But ultimately, when you look at what we do in the UK, we cannot mirror what goes on in Japan. We can't do it. It's just simply just not achievable.
It wouldn't be viable for any club or anybody to put a show on during the better times of the year. It just wouldn't pay for itself.
It wouldn't be good for our fish either as dealers to move them around at that time.
No. I mean, the Southeast, did they do it for 2 years? The Young Koi show as well?
Yeah. What month was that in?
I think it was early May.
It was early May.
Yeah.
Early May, but
I can remember going down. I really enjoyed it, but I can always remember thinking it's cold. You know, the mornings were cold. You know, and that hall was cold, even though it was an amazing hall. It's still cold, isn't it? You know.
So dealers don't get behind it because they're not going to sell any fish because nobody's going to be buying them to put into their ponds that are probably arguably still covered at that time of the year.
It's also one of our busiest seasons.
Yeah. So
you know, we're doing all our buying, moving, prepping, etc., etc. You know, it's a lot of work for a dealership to throw a couple of koi shows in there. It's like I just don't think it'd get as much support personally.
And to be honest, we're geared up for the summer. That's when people like to get out and about, don't they? Simple as.
Yeah. People like going out in the summer, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, when it starts,
Gary Coy says entrance fee is cheap at £12.
It is very cheap at £12. It's a giveaway at £7.50.
Yeah.
So £7.50 is the entrance fee, just to prove that. Let's take Gary off because Lee's covered. At the Newark Showground, search at the Great British Koi Show 2026. Joe Mitchell put this artwork together, so kudos to Joe. Starts
Quite good,
10
actually,
a.m.
isn't
on
it?
Saturday till 5 p.m. Sunday 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. Entrance fee £7.50. Kids under 12 go free. So anyone turning up with bearded children, don't lie about their age. It's only £7.50. Just saying. So good post of that.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick look because there was some good stuff. No way as if Koi. No way as if Koi. Evening all. Kudos. Could you not be cheeky and approach Severn Trent, your suppliers, and say that their water is supplying the show and their water is so good they could even have a banner worth a go for sponsorship? Have you ever actually?
That's quite a good idea.
In this. Has anybody actually gone to the water company to see whether they'd sponsor it?
The way they are at the moment, I think it probably shut us down.
Yeah.
Well, that's you don't know. If you don't ask, you don't get, right?
I wouldn't know what water company it is because obviously we buy it off Newark. It's their water, isn't it? It's their meter. So yeah, we buy it off Newark.
I mean, I think that's a good idea personally.
That was a good idea. Yeah.
I'll get Phil
Lisa
on that.
Leach. So does the mid staffs Koi show? A new thing I started for the mid staffs Koi show was getting all rosettes sponsored. Even that helps. It's something we have done in many other fancy for years.
Right? Yeah, I never even thought about getting the rosette sponsored, to be honest.
Absolutely.
If you can do black ones, I'll sponsor it.
Most will pay a tenner entrance. It's 2026.
Yeah, and this is all things like this were discussed, but I don't know.
You know something, Paul. As much as I know that you're trying to bring people through the door, right? A tenner is not a great deal of money.
No, £7.50. I don't want to poop on anyone's parade that's going next weekend, but I think that's quite cheap, really. You know what I mean? For someone who wants to sort of make
everything that's on offer at your show, mate.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you're right.
People go to the Better Home sort of convention in the NEC.
Harrogate Flower Show
£50 a
about
ticket
40
to go
quid.
look at a load of crap they wish they could have, rather than stuff that they can actually buy, right?
Yeah.
And there you go, Dougie straight on it. He'd happily pay a tenner.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Raise the entrance price. We will pay it. It's worth a... There you go. Right?
Dave's thinking he's happy because
this is our platform, Paul. You're getting feedback now. All right.
Yeah.
If a VAT was 100 quid, the exhibitor gets there on a Friday. It's only £33 a day. Technically, for the VAT, that's not a lot in the grand scheme of koi keeping when you can spend thousands on a drum.
Yeah, you're right.
Good point.
You know, or even
everybody wants to pay
200 quid on a box filter. In the scheme of things, it's not a lot, is it?
Yeah, Dave's happy because I was going to put the stand fees up. Everybody will be paying a tenner of stand fees.
Yeah, it's always the dealer that gets nacked, isn't it?
Always the dealer. We'll negotiate that once we've sorted out the entrance fee and the VAT fee.
Yeah, priorities first, right?
Well, the thing is, the more people come, the more I can keep it down. You know what I mean? It's As I say, we're not there to make a profit. All I want to do is give something back to the members. That put I don't know how much we'd pay to somebody to man the show and break it down. How much would we take? How much would that cost us? Because we certainly don't make it.
Right, Eric Gorman got the best kigoi in the UK. That should be £100. Everyone who has show koi, that is peanuts to what they spend.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I think £100 is the magic number for that, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. If you work
Right,
that,
and then we're moving into.
Yeah, that's £2. That's not even £2 a week, is it?
Wow, that's a hell of a lot more than I thought. Right, show costs.
Yeah,
And it's what people don't realise. All right, all of the extra costs. Paul Williams, hope you're well, my friend. Don't forget 26th. How much? £7.50 entrance fee. Bloody hell. God willing. See
He'll be wanting concessions with our Mr. Williams.
But I'll tell you what, mate. You got, mate. These pensioners ain't skint. They're tight.
Crafty. I'm only charging a £5 at my door.
Colin Holland. Mate, he's just been in Turkey, mate. He's going to be browner than me when he comes back. Thinking outside the box. Don't think the venue might be taking you for granted, and maybe you could negotiate a new venture that would be more keen to do business. Colin is a very, very good businessman, by the way. Yep,
absolutely. There's lots of venues. I think when James started looking, I think Harrogate Showground was 33 grand just for the weekend to hire. There are buildings, that you can find. What you can't find is parking for 500 cars next to the building. That's what you can't get. And without parking, we were talking earlier on about that big building with the polished floor. We'd planned, or Phil had planned it all out. We'd got some sort of cost and, it was a goer. And then they turned around and went, oh yeah, you can't have no parking.
That's crazy.
Well, yeah, that's...
Do you know why I find that crazy? Because obviously between where you've got the show at the moment and where that new showground is, there's about a quarter of a mile of field that's not used.
Yeah, but you want to go down there, Lee, when they have events on, like antique fairs or old cars and stuff like that. You can't move down there. Absolutely, everything is absolutely packed, and it is what it is, isn't it? It's the venue charging you for Monday takedown. Well, we pay from Monday.
Let me
every
just
day
read
is
that
25% of the weekend day.
Paul, let me just read that out. So the venue charging you for a Monday takedown is taking the mickey. The venue would be hired out to anyone else. So So I would be negotiating that at no cost following the business you have bought to the cafeteria, etc. Yeah. Cole, I reckon you need to offer your services to the Great British Core Show, mate. Charge them a fee that you'll save them against Newark Showground.
So when do you hire the venue? From what day do you hire the venue before the show?
Morning.
Monday morning.
Monday to Monday.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be better to be able to maybe rent some hands to be able to break it down before the Monday, just work through the night on Sunday?
You couldn't do it, Lee. You can't move that much water. Yeah, and you have to bear in mind.
Pumping the water out is the issue, is it?
Well, then you've got all the pipe work to break down. All the 6,000 gallon ponds are kicking about.
Yeah,
they've all got to be verconned and dried.
But can't you do the cleaning later on somewhere else?
No, because you've got to go back into Newark. Our containers at Newark Showground.
Right.
So you've got that aspect to think about as well, right?
Yeah, and you have to remember there's 200-300 meters of 4-inch pipe and all the fittings to go back. Because we're inside, we've got to get the water out and then down to the drains, haven't we?
Yeah.
So there's hundreds of meter of 2-inch pipe that's all got to be cleaned after the after breakdown day. Because if you remember how much pipe works at the back of your stand outside, Dave.
Oh yeah, shitloads.
Yeah.
All that's got to go. So it's a massive undertaking. I think because people come in, walk around the showground and walk around, walk around everywhere. They don't actually. It's like going at the back of a store and it going into the warehouse at Asda. They don't actually see what goes on. They see what's on.
Yeah,
Just
it's
yeah,
a spaghetti.
that's
It's a
full of
spaghetti
water.
minefield of stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah.
You know.
And it's it's massive. And
I'll tell you what though, you need to take a leaf out of the North of England Koi Shows book. They was literally put down within 4 hours, man.
yeah,
It was quite astonishing to watch. Notes
So
I said watch.
Here's an interesting little question for you. What exhibitors are you particularly happy, looking forward to seeing at the show again this year? Any particular?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing them all.
Yeah, I like it. That's a very
You're
good
such a
question.
fucking politician, mate.
You're going to ask me who's showing, aren't you?
Yeah, who is showing? Who's on the radar?
Oh, I don't know. I can't
Is
remember.
Paul Cunningham showing?
Paul Cunningham. Do I know him?
Carl
He'll
Morrison,
tell
is
us
he
anyway.
back?
I'm about to bring up a question that he's put in. So
Who? Carl.
Paul
Yeah.
Cunningham.
Oh,
It's Carl. Oh,
everybody
mate,
will know when they turn up on Friday.
Well,
It's right though, isn't it? You know what I mean? If people will talk between themselves and groups will know who's showing and who's not. But you know, if I let everybody know who's showing, one, it'll probably break data protection. But
there's no data
actually
protection involved in that, by the way.
Yeah, just bring your best fish and your best tanchos.
Are you showing, Paul?
No.
First
time ever. I won't be. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Sore subject.
Very.
I knew.
Yeah, thanks for that, Dave. Cheers, Dave.
No.
Paul Cunningham.
Wondering whether
it's a discussion point for us all. I think it's actually a good one, and I think people may be a bit surprised at my answer. Will digital shows become more Paul Cunningham, thank you for sending this in. Will digital shows become more mainstream due to live show costs? Koi ... Or will the draw of hobbyists get together always by massively popular? Will the draw of hobbyists getting together always be massively popular?
I hope so.
So let's do. Will digital koi shows become more mainstream?
Hope not.
Yes. Yeah,
I hope so. I like a digital koi show. The only thing is, I think they're really good for people that don't want to drag their koi across the country, who maybe haven't got the minerals to do it, or just don't want to because they think koi health maybe is best for them. But the hard thing with them is it's really hard to get honesty in some of those shows, because if there's a way to cheat, mate, there is a way to cheat, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? It's the difficult one.
Well, with AI,
how many women have you seen that have been on the front cover of Gentleman's Quarterly,
and then you bump
walking down the street?
Yeah.
Mate, they don't exist because they all get shopped out.
Yeah,
all the little blemishes get removed.
Well, weren't we just a minute talking about winter shows? Wouldn't the ideal time to do digital koi shows is through the winter?
Yeah. But you've got to accept the fact there's going to be some AI now is available to everybody, and it's easy to use. And I think you're going to see.
And the fish will only be as good as the photos.
Yeah, but I mean, AI now can turn something.
Yes, that's what I mean. That the fish will only be as good as the photo that's submitted.
Yeah. But there's probably a place for it. I just think you're going to have to accept the fact that some photographs will be exaggerated.
Yeah, but I really, really hope that. I've always thought this hobby is very insular. You know what I mean? You have your own pond at home, and actually getting together with other hobbyists. That's why I'm a big believer in clubs. I think it's a fantastic way of enjoying the hobby, far more than sitting out next to your pond. But that's me. I like mixing with people. I like talking to people. I like having the banter. That's that we start with when you turn up on Wednesday. But it's all about that, isn't it? For me, anyway. It's the hobby is part of meeting people and meeting different ponds and meeting different people. And the shows are a good part of that. And long may it continue.
Colin states all his fish would win a digital koi show because he's good at AI.
Yeah.
Had a good teacher, Cole. Just
That's
saying.
the fear. That's the fear of it.
On top of that, in my opinion, they will never ever trump an actual show.
No,
ever, because there is that people try and put a picture up with a video, and you can manipulate color, blemishes, etc. on video as much as you can on photographs as well. Right now, I know in Japan they're using AI to actually judge. Right, and when you do the AI competition in Japan, any videos you have to drop a card that is sent to you to the bottom of the vat, and those colors are all preset. So if you change the color on your fish, you also change the color of the card that's on the bottom of the pond. So the AI will pick up that color code has been moved because it doesn't match. So they are trying to defeat it. However, you go up, then if it becomes more international, right? But then you start getting all of the Chinese involved, all of the Americans involved, the whole of Asia, all of Britain. That is when you can actually physically say my koi is the best because it's beaten all this competition. So people like us that don't have multiple thousands and thousands of pounds of fish will eventually get trumped, because the big people will take over when it becomes a very good sort of accolade to win a GC in that. On a smaller scale like what Joe does, I think it's got a place. In my opinion, I think it's a good thing that he does. The only problem is making sure that the right fish win.
When did Joe do it last year? What date was it? Because I'm sure he was pushing it at this date at least.
I think it was more. Yeah, it was definitely more winter.
Yeah, but I'm sure he was starting to push the idea of it.
Might see some big banners.
If Joe's watching, let us know when it starts.
Yeah, I hope he's doing it. I hope he's doing it again this year because it was really good.
I think you've also, with the digital shows, I think you've also got to give people a little bit of treat them as being honest until they're not. And I'm a great believer in that. I'll take anybody at their word until I find out that actually they've sold me a pup, and that's it. I'm done then. You'll never see me again. And that would be the same as for me in the digital koi show. Because if somebody was blatantly cheating, I'd just say if I was running it, they would never ever be allowed to enter again. That's it. And just withdraw it. Just put it out there. If it's a social media post saying that this guy's cheated, you know what I mean? That's it. It's done, isn't it?
Paul, is that you can judge pattern a little bit on them. You can judge body.
Skin is difficult though.
You can never judge skin because that can be enhanced by just exposing it or doing. And that's the thing. So I think it's got its place for a bit of fun, like you said, during winter, but to take from a koi show where you can actually visually see the koi, because as well as me, you cannot appreciate skin until you actually see it, unfortunately.
And it's the same as Ginrin. It's very, very rarely you capture Ginrin as you see it in the flesh.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, can you remember that fish last year at your show? That Sankey, unfortunately, but wow.
Oh, yeah, Larry's.
If you could know anybody and teach anybody what good skin should look like, wow.
Yep. And you know what? Even though it keeled over, Malcolm, bless him, spent him 4 hours bringing it round. Yeah. The skin on it, when it was upside down, was just phenomenal.
Yeah. That was without doubt, I would think, in my opinion, the best skin quality of a fish in that show by a country mile.
Yeah, it was mature champion, wasn't it? Male Sankey from Taniguchi, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere like that. Yeah. But that's what a camera doesn't pick up without a lot of enhancing That's seeing it in the flesh.
Yeah. So,
Question for you, Paul. Can anyone get a VAT to show their coin?
yes, absolutely. Yeah. You just follow us on the Great British Koi Show Facebook page. I normally give a week or two's notice to say that the VATs are going live at certain time, certain day. And when the application comes into me, I will send you, or, you just send me an email saying I want a VAT. So I'll send you the application with the exhibitor rules on. You send me your contact details, accepting the rules, pay the money. I get a notification from Phil to say you've paid the money. I've got your application back, and then I'll confirm your VAT.
Did they sell out? How long did it take to sell out this year, Paul?
Ooh, in minutes.
Oh, it's a long time then.
It never beat last year. I must admit, it never beat. Last year was 12 minutes.
Wow.
And it was done and dusted 12 minutes. And that was only because I couldn't send the applications back quick enough, because I'm not a computer person.
Which is good, because it shows you the demand is there, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's lovely. And it's there was a thing about this year, I was a little bit more careful. I did a little bit more investigating about who, not investigating into people, that's wrong, but there was a bit of a thing about, can dealers show, can family members of dealers show, all that sort of stuff. So when I got names I didn't recognize, I just, you know what I mean? I didn't want to be the back end of somebody else's arguments.
No,
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't recognize a name, then it didn't ring alarm bells, but I'm thinking, is this person going to cause me a problem because I've given John Smith a VAT and he's the brother of him that owns that dealership? You know what I mean? That sort of
thing. Yeah.
Because
so are you allowing dealers to come in?
Yeah, there's plenty of dealers to come in, yeah.
Like to show?
No. It depends what you class as a dealer.
This is what I'm getting at, because BKKS are non-existent now, so their show rules, with regards to that sort of stature, has disappeared, right?
Yeah, but
so
the actual
up to individual clubs what they do, correct?
The Koi Show rules that Paula wrote with everybody else are still in place.
That I'm on about the add-ons, if dealers can show, etc., etc.
Yeah, it's. I've got a problem with the wording, because I'm quite specific. I'm quite an honest person, I think, and we're a club, and I treat everybody as I want to be treated. But
okay, let me ask this question then. Would you allow me to show at your club?
Definitely not. No.
Why?
With a face like yours?
Yeah, there will. No.
Am I a dealer though, Paul?
Yes, you are, because you have a right. The way I've looked at it, Crafty, is that 3 years ago there was a young lad that bought a Sankey in the auction when we had him up the top end, right? So he would be, I don't know, 16, 17 years old. I guess I don't know. I can't remember his name. I'd have to go back on the Facebook. But if he got a job, a Saturday job now, to get him through university at Perfect Aquatics, is he a dealer? Because that's what the rules state, that you cannot work. You cannot work in any dealership.
I agree.
He's not a dealer.
Am I then how do I differ from that?
But Crafty works, so surely he could be that.
The way I've looked at it is, I think there's a massive difference between an employee and a dealer, right? Well, rightly or wrongly.
No. There's no right or wrong.
Crafty, you're an employee, Crafty, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
But you've got, if somebody in the dealership has input or the responsibility for the business acumen of the business, I would class that as a dealer.
And I would agree with that, Paul. Actually,
I wouldn't class a Saturday, or on the other hand, right? So somebody's retired and they say to Dave, can I have a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning to help you out? He's not a dealer. Dave's the dealer, not the kid that's working. What if he
works there 7 days a week, goes to Japan, and is involved in selecting koi to sell at the shop?
I've got a. I think it's a grey area.
It's a grey area.
But then, if I look at it, let's just say, for example, and this is 100% from my heart. If I had somebody working for me full time who was allowed to show, I'm going to make sure he gets my best koi for that show.
Ah, right. Let's have the conversation then. Right.
That's
so,
what,
Dave.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to give him an opportunity to put them in for me. It's natural, isn't it, Paul?
Right. Okay. But this would be my point. So if you did that, right?
Yeah.
You did that. You've come to our show. You've got your full-time employee, right?
Yep.
Showing at yours. You've given him your best fish, right? If they go back to your premises, this is for me speaking.
No, I wouldn't.
They go back to your premises and you try and sell them.
No, right? Paul, listen to me. The difference is he would own them. I would make sure he would own them fish.
Yep.
I'd want him to say, look, you must be buying that from me for cost, even not cost.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So this is where I see this grey area is that is a very unfair advantage against somebody who's not working for a dealer.
Right. Well, here's one for you then. So Herbert Fritz rings you and says, Dave, can you take me down to Ogata?
Yeah.
Right. And buys the best fish in Ogata. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ship it back to him and he lives in the UK and he puts that in. Now tell me who's got more advantage. The guy that's gone and spent £100,000 on a fish, or the guy that's working for you that spent two grand on a fish.
Yeah, I think
what's the likelihood of Herbert Fritz ringing any of us up?
But what I'm saying is, if you see the dealers, right, that take 8, 9, 10 people round to Japan, that have got an unlimited budget, and then you've got somebody working at a koi dealership. You've got somebody working at a koi dealership on 25 grand a year. Are they really going to compete with somebody that's just spent 10 grand on a fish in Japan?
Yeah, but they'd be having an unfair advantage on other people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're not competing against the person who can go to Japan and spend 20, 30, 40, 50 grand. They're competing with the average hobbyist who's spending 50, 100, 200, 300 pound, Paul. So however you look at it, it's surely got to be an unfair advantage because.
So where do you draw the line?
Well, the line was in the book years and years ago. Since I've been doing shows for 25 years, if you earn a living within the koi industry, you cannot show.
So that's what I'm saying. So you're saying that 16-year-old kid that's doing a day, because that's his only day, is now a dealer that couldn't show?
No, it's not a dealer. It was anybody who earned a living within the koi. You don't have to be a dealer.
Well, he's only doing a Saturday morning. He's only doing a Saturday morning.
You might be able to exempt him, Paul, but anybody who's doing 7 days a week, going to Japan, surely that's an advantage because he's going to.
He's working at a koi dealership. Is he earning? That's what I'm saying to you. He's going, and he might take 10 people that have got far more money than him working at a koi dealer.
Yeah, but it's not against them people, Paul. I think it's not out. It won't ever out. There's more hobbyists. No dealer is going to be spending 20, 30, 40, 50 grand on a koi. 100%.
Yeah.
But I think where it could be conflicting is if you're going up against the lower end of the hobby. No, I don't mean that rude, but you're going up against the lower end of the hobbyist. You're making their life more difficult because that's who that person is potentially going to be up against. Like Lisa.
I don't know who's up against who, Dave.
No, but what I'm saying is, I mean, it's common sense. If I was a dealer and I had somebody working in here 7 days a week and who showed, I'm going to make sure he buys the koi at the right price to promote me, aren't I?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you would.
I agree with Dave on it. I think if you've got an affiliation with regards to employment, actual employment, you're on the books, you're doing voluntary work, right? That sort of thing, you should be excluded from showing because you've got additional benefits, and I know what benefits can be had. I know what I've got access to, Paul. And yes, you consider me as a dealer. I consider me as an employee. I don't own the business.
No, you're right.
I'm paid under strict guidelines by my boss. What I can spend, it's my job to ensure that the right koi get picked for the survivability of that department.
Yeah.
Right. However, in the position that I hold, and anybody within my store, right, if they're koi keepers, right, part of the perk is you get that koi at cost. So what your £1,000 buys and what his £1,000 buys
is a lot different
worlds.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Worlds. So 100%. Therefore, there is a clear advantage in having access to koi at a cheaper price than what the average hobbyist or the high-end hobbyist, right? Because if you have got, you come to me as an employee, one of my guys, Ollie, that's watching, if he comes to me and said, Kraft, I've got 10 grand I want to spend on a koi, I'd go, let's go. And I'll fucking spend his 10 grand for him and he'd get a good koi for it, but that koi would not cost you 10 grand.
No, but then it wouldn't cost somebody else 10 grand that you took to Japan because you'd only charge them a, 10-15% commission.
Yep, but at the same time, though, it's still an advantage.
Yeah, but then I just think that you're penalising somebody that's not on mega money, and to penalise somebody that's perhaps retired or perhaps he's getting their first time job on a Saturday morning, it's a grey area.
I'd love to be able to show my koi, Paul. I'd love it.
Pardon?
I'd love to be able to show my koi. Because I don't consider myself a dealer. I don't own the business. And
but you're involved in the business planning of the business.
Absolutely.
That's the way I was thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I say, there's no right or wrong answer.
There's no right or wrong. It's just
literally down to let me just make that point clear to the audience.
But on the other hand, if somebody took, I don't know, either of you two took somebody to Japan, spent 10 grand on one fish, bought it back and won. Right, that would be kudos for you, pair of you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
But the little guy that you've just given £500 discount to, he's just got blown out the water by somebody that's just spent 10 grand with you.
Yeah,
it's you know what I mean?
That's what I mean. It swings around.
And if you're working at a koi dealer, right, you ain't got 10 grand to go and spend on a fish, have you? Realistically,
no koi dealer's gonna. The average koi dealer is not going to battle it out with the likes that are going for grand champions and all your top majors. They're just
and anything from adult upwards, really, isn't it?
Yeah, we're not in a position to hold that in there. You might sell it, you might not. But I think where it does massively interfere with the koi hobby is in the lower end of the sizes and competition.
Oh, cool! That's a big call, that, Dave. Look at baby champion at the national, right? What is it? 300 quid? I know it got DQ'd. So even if you gave somebody a fish for 200 quid,
what if I give it for free because it only costs me 100 quid?
Yeah, whatever.
But then that guy's got an advantage.
There's still 40-something fish that he's got to beat, and you don't know the 40 fish that are turning up.
Oh, no, without a doubt. No, he's still got to beat them, but eventually you're gonna get something, surely. Yeah, if you're a decent dealer.
He's already blown smoke up your ass one time. I don't think you'll get another.
Let's have a look what the audience is saying, right? Because this is how much of a grey area it is, irrespective of what any of us say.
Can I just say some
opinions, right?
Can I just say something else? That I think again, I've reiterated, we're not a business, we're in the hobby.
Yeah.
Craig is, sorry, people that we're talking about have shown for donkey's years. Absolutely, because I think it was about 3 years ago, a Ginrin shower came to our show after winning two majors and best in class, was it, at the National?
Yeah.
It didn't get placed at ours.
No, nothing wrong with that. They
No,
look different
but-
on different days, right?
But it was okay then, but not now,
Yep.
because it's the same person.
Yeah.
So it was
I
okay
understand.
then.
I understand that. It may be a little bit of bad taste. However, it takes a bigger person to enforce the rules than what it does. But
it's the
if
grey
we
area.
didn't have VAR in football at one point, but we do
still
now.
shouldn't have. Yeah.
But there's an opinion, isn't there? It's a big money thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
However, let's look. Surely the whole dealer, non-dealer distinction is just whether the fish are a private collection or stock for sale.
Yeah, can go
Now,
with that.
this,
But then again, what's a private collection and what's stock? If it's stock
However,
at the
we do
dealer, or you
know-
buy it from the dealer and put it in your own pond.
I'm not going to say names, right? Because it's unfair to do that. But it had been known in the past that dealers turn up, plop a couple of fish in someone's show vat, right? Win a couple of prizes, box them up, and take them back.
Right, I'm glad you brought that up, actually.
Yep.
If that happened at my show, right, we're talking, not my show, the Great British Show, right? Not only would I withdraw that person from ever showing again, I would also, if the dealer was there, they would not be invited back at all. Finished. Done.
Absolutely. But
because you can't write every rule for every reason. And if
but
that
that's
happened,
the whole reason why dealers were stopped from showing, and also the 30-day rule was brought in to prevent that.
What, 30-day between shows?
No, owning the koi for 30 days prior to a show, which is what happened with a baby champion at the National and why it was stripped of the title, because that person hadn't owned that fish for that period of time.
It wasn't out of quarantine.
But
it wasn't. He owned it.
Ownership of it also wasn't there.
He owned it, but couldn't pick it up because it wasn't out of quarantine.
But it wasn't in his pond for 30 days, which is what the
that's the rule, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's why, because dealers were turning up and plopping fish in.
Yeah.
Right, off the back of Efro.
But again, a few years ago at the National, that used to be commonplace. And talking big prizes.
Yeah.
Prizes, yeah. You either, I don't know, you either take people as being honest, right? Or you get muck on your face, but those people will never, ever be allowed to show at the show again. Done.
Something, for me, Paul, right? Like I say, I've always wanted to show my fish, right? More so, and unfortunately, I was doing a lot of revision to become a judge prior to applying, and the job at Perfect come across, so that never happened. All right, so but that immediately, I was like, I can no longer show because I work at Perfect. At the time, I was only managing the koi department when I first worked there. All right, so straight away, I just understood that rule shouldn't. Right, immediately, I took myself out of it. So if that rule is there and people know about it, that's the key, knowing about it, then they shouldn't exploit that rule. It's not down to the club, it's down to the person to respect the rule as well.
I just have a different way of thinking between dealer stroke owner, if you like, and employee. That's my opinion.
Okay, Lee, one reason you took your business on was for what purpose?
Was because obviously there was talk, because I was hosting exclusively Koi's auction, and I mean there was talk, people were saying, is he a dealer or is he a hobbyist? Well, obviously I was a hobbyist, but because of the talk, I just want to be I would just want to be a good advocate for the hobby, so that's why I started a dealership. Otherwise, I'd be shown as an exhibitor again.
And you've taken yourself out of that ring, right?
I've taken myself out of that ring, so there is no loose ends, and I just want to be a good advocate. If that's what people think, that's fine.
Well,
I'll do exactly what people think. That's it.
And that's exactly the same for me. In a basis, I took employment within a dealership. That rule existed. I now no longer knew I could no longer show koi because that was the rule. Lee's done exactly the same in a different way.
Yeah, good.
Just a point.
Yeah.
Rachel hits the nail on the head. To me, the difference would be an employee and the dealer being a person with significant control of a business.
She's just worded it better than me.
Yeah, but it gets to the point, right? So
yeah, it does. Yeah.
And I think that cuts out ambiguity.
I'm more. I'm more. I think what Dave said is a lot more accurate. I think, okay. So when I hung around with Ryan, I go to Japan as a hobbyist. I can guarantee you now, what Dave's saying is it doesn't account for Ryan. Every fish I bought from Ryan was the price, and that's it. I don't get any cheap fish from Ryan to put into a show to make exclusively good to look good. Trust me, my fish I bought
for it.
I paid more for my fish than anybody else did, and the reason is I had first pick, and the reason is I got off my ass and I went to Japan to pick my fish. Okay, so I mean, that was put to bed. I mean, every fish I got off them, I paid a good price for. That's it, because
I
they
know
were
for a fact
good fish. That's it.
I know for a fact
because I was a hobbyist, and that's it. Yeah. There was no discount for me
for some of the fish because of getting the first pick.
Because I got the first pick.
Ryan.
Yeah, but I can also understand what Dave's saying, that there would be people probably getting fish at cost. Yeah, for people at work. There, it is a grey area. It's hard, isn't it?
But let's look at what Colin Holland says, right? Because he makes another point. But I could be a customer of Perfect Aquatics, and they say we want you to win the national. I give it to you for cost. It makes no difference if I work for PA or I am just a good customer.
I suppose it boils down to almost the integrity of the koi dealer.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And we've seen it in the past
Let me get a glass of water.
Where that integrity lacks on some people just to get a little bit of silverware on the shelf. And for me, it's like the dealer or the hobbyist that we've seen it with somebody a few years ago, right, that voted up a People's Choice Award constantly just so they could take a People's Choice Award and say, I supplied that fish, right? It might, that's cheating. It's no different. I just don't see, if you're going into a competition at a show, right, then just abide by the rules and respect the rules. If you've got an opinion, have an opinion. We're all allowed them, but approach it in the right way.
Here's one for you.
What about this?
Here's one for you. You are Paul. Obviously, you run the show. I love the show. I love your show. It was probably my. I'm hoping Matt and Ian's not watching, but it's probably my favorite show. I used to exhibit at. I don't know why. I used to get free sausage rolls in the morning, right?
It was the camping and the.
It's the camping and stuff. I mean, I love the national, but I really love that show. Right. So here's one. Let's just. I've got my pet shop license. I got my little business account. Blah 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 blah. But I truly wish that I was exhibiting next week, not dealing. And that's the God's honest truth, because at heart, I love the competition of anything that I do. I love it, right? Now, let's just say when my pet shop license runs out in, I don't know what it is, January, February, March or April or May, whatever it was. And I look at myself and I think to myself, I really have enjoyed this dealership thing. I rip that up, cancel everything off. Would I be classed as a hobbyist again? Could I come back to your show if I'm not a dealer? After being a dealer? Of course I could, I'm sure.
Lee, it's life. Things move, don't they? And you just
Yes, I'm going to book my back next year as an exhibitor.
Yeah, if Crafty stopped working at Perfect Aquatics next week and said, "Can I show next
Careful what you wish for, mate."
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's life. Life moves on, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Here's one, Paul. You could always go limited because I'm limited, so I work for Coastal Koi.
Yeah. I've told you, Dave.
But
I'm not
again,
a company.
mate, isn't it? I think that statement that Rachel made, a person with significant control.
Yeah,
I think that is probably a very good definition.
Here's another one. Here's another one. Then, okay, obviously, a dealer selling koi or a employee selling koi livestock. What about people? Let's just say I wasn't a koi dealer. Let's just say I made a brand of auto feeders,
or published a magazine,
or maybe I developed a koi food or something to do with the industry, but not actually selling fish. Where does that stand?
Well,
out of curiosity.
In the old set of rules, I believe it said, Paul, anybody who makes their full-time living from the koi industry,
right? Okay, so that,
able to show. So I think that's whether you, regardless of what you
for NTL, Evolution Aqua, Oase, etc. You was excluded.
Yeah.
That was the old.
I did have them at hand,
association.
I think they did it just to take all this grey area away, because then there's no grey area at all, is there? If you say that,
but there is still loads of grey area because we're not taking the rules. Actually,
you can't write a rule for every person's individual circumstance. You can't do it.
No, which is why it should go to the committee if you fall within
you just have to take people.
Aspect.
Like I said to you, I will take everybody at face value. If that works out wrong, then it is what it is.
What if my daughter showed?
No, immediate family.
Okay, what if my neighbour showed my koi?
That's in the rules.
There's ways around it. It don't matter how you look at it, is it? But let's have a look what people are saying, because I think this is great debate. The guy who is working there will have more chance of getting the best koi than the exhibitor going in off the street to look and buy, as they will know what's coming into stock first. Potential. True.
Yeah.
Yes, but then again, you have the hardcore hobbyists. I mean, like I was, and also people that actually go to Japan. So these people that work in the dealerships that don't go to Japan, yes, they're going to see fish before the general public. However, Joe Blogs that actually go to Japan are going to find fish before that guy's going to find fish.
Well, you know, Dave, how many grades of pond does a gatter have? If you went into a gatter and said, I want female toe size, 34 centimetres, guaranteed, best you've got, how many ponds of them has he got?
Depends on what he lets you up, but he's not got hundreds, that's for sure.
No, but if he said to you, Dave, they're going to be 500 quid, I don't know, right? And you said, well, I'm not going to buy that.
I went into one of his best ponds this year, off the farm, and they were considerably more than that.
Right. Would you keep any of them as stock?
No, they were all staying in Japan and sold.
Right. Okay. So you're not going to keep any of them in stock, but the person that you've got with you has been able to buy one.
Yep.
So you're going down 3 or 4 ponds down when instead of 500 quid, they're 100 quid. So the person that's working for you has got the pick of the best 100 quid ones, when mate boy that went with you has got the pick of the 500 quid ones that you don't want to keep. Yeah,
but the guy that went with him is paid for the flight, paid for his accommodation, actually gone there. He's not an employee.
But we're talking about who's got the biggest pockets then.
Yeah, it's I don't think you're still getting it. That doesn't make a difference. How big your pocket is,
because the price of a coin doesn't dictate.
How big your pocket is should not make a difference. When you're getting backhanders or your back scratched, it's not about money.
No, I agree with you.
Let's face it, we've had fish that cost 200 quid take baby champion.
Yeah.
Up against fish that have cost $3,000 and not placed.
I've had adult champion for £95.
You know, but you're getting access. You're also getting access to those fish at a cheaper cost that has better potential. But it's ultimately down to your koi keeping skills as well. You know,
I think we should just allow everyone to show, and then we won't have to worry about it.
Yeah, let's open it to everybody.
Let's just open it to everyone. Japan does.
Because the argument has always been the other way round, Paul. Dealers couldn't show because it was an unfair advantage, but most dealers would never spend what a top hobbyist would anyway.
No.
So we're at a disadvantage.
and you don't feed them, and you don't condition them the same as what hobbyists do. Yeah.
But we don't. That's so true, mate. We just don't. I mean, we feed them, but we don't condition them for shows.
If I asked you what food you fed Crafty, you'd say the one that's split in the back.
Pond sticks.
The one that cost the most cost effective, mate, at our shop.
Yeah, or the one that you got.
I always find it strange how we're in a Japanese hobby. We strive to hit Japanese qualities when it comes to koi. We set up all of these koi shows to represent kind of a Japanese koi show, but we don't use their rules. I don't understand it.
And that's the thing. That's the other rule, isn't it? That you've got to own the fish 30 days or be in the pond 30 days.
Yeah.
Well, you can go and you can show at the All Japan.
Exactly. Come straight off Ryuki's van.
Yeah, you've never seen it. You've got a certificate and you've owned it about a week.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's the Japanese hobby. Our hobby comes from Japan. That should be, in my mind. I don't understand how it's not the rules. It's crazy.
Have you not heard of Narita Koi Show koiforsale.com?
Yeah, and then it says you've got two weeks to buy this koi and get your name on it to be entered in your name in Japan.
Just tell me what award you want. We'll get you it.
What? Yeah.
But if it was Japanese rules like that, I think it'd be great for dealers, and they'll definitely end up changing their facilities to make them absolute feeding machines.
There's a lot of people. Obviously, we've had this conversation go round and round on many WhatsApp groups and stuff, and a lot of people have said, "I don't care who owns the fish. I don't care how long they've owned it. When I go to a koi show, I want to see amazing the best fish." Yeah, absolutely, that's right. It. They're not bothered.
The person exhibiting this is bothered.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the person exhibiting. Yeah, but
how many times have we had that conversation, Paul, when we've looked at fish and gone, "How the fuck has that happened?" You know, it's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know? And that's because we all see different things.
We do.
Turbo Jason, we have a pet store. We sell Jap koi. We don't have the space or time to have a dedicated pond to keep and feed up and grow a few koi to compete. And we have very nice koi, but they're not on the show level. And that's so true for most serious mainstream dealerships that aren't specialising in that. Absolutely all in the same boat.
Yeah,
absolutely. Eric Gorman, here you go. Employees of dealers are allowed to show in the Scottish Koi Show.
That's true, and won.
And won, right? And this is where it sort of takes me round full circle, like totally unplanned. It's down to the club to decide if it's allowed or not.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I mean, I think employees that work in koi shops should be allowed to show. And if anybody's worried about that, then the people that's worried about that, go and get a job in your local dealership. Because you might get on really well there, and the dealerships probably need top end hobbyists like that to go and work there as well.
And these boys are all sticking together, shoulder to shoulder. Paul Mack is correct. Common sense should prevail.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I agree. However, I'm going to skip past some of these. Right then. So Colin Holland says, "Crafty. So I sponsors the koi judges this year. Where do I stand if I wanted to show?"
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah,
in a good position.
Very strong.
Right.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Colin.
Turn up
again,
Friday and
Colin,
turn up Friday and pick your trophies up.
I would
That's
say
a
your
funny one.
company sponsored the koi judges, not you as an individual. Does it give you an unfair advantage? That's open to discussion.
Ooh.
Absolutely, you would not, just because of that. I know, talking to the judges, they would only award versus the fish that are in the pond.
Yeah, mate.
Because
They're super professional.
Their whole community, like what they are, is all based on integrity and honesty. And hang on. That's right. I'll answer that separately. It's, my phone's gone dead. Yeah, but definitely with regards to would you have an unfair advantage? Absolutely not. However, money being poured in to sponsorship, how does that sit with you, Paul?
It's something that we've never come across. You know
But
what I mean?
what if he sponsored the show as an outside company? Not
That's
koi
almost the
related.
same. That's almost the same as saying, the
Well, mate.
sponsorships from Absolute Koi, Shosha Koi, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But they're not.
It's
They're
a
not
difficult
showing.
one.
They're not showing.
Yeah, but there's probably hobbyists that's buying fish from them. So yeah, it does. It's just
can be a
common
tangled
sense.
mess, can't it?
Oh, it can be. Yeah, if you overthink
Well,
it.
And I think that is why when we come back to it, common sense, like Paul Cunningham says, is the key.
Yeah.
And ultimately, what Matt from the national comeback was said, put some guidelines in. At this point, the committee will decide. I think that's a fair way of doing it as well, eh?
Yeah, I say we had the discussion before we actually made the decision about where that sat, and we agreed employees are totally different than anybody that has business planning acumen inside a business.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a bad thing, mate.
No,
I don't, because again, I've got two youngsters that work for me, 18 and 23. Young 18-year-old Ollie, he's into his koi.
yeah,
He doesn't have any control over what I pick, what I sell, what prices they go up. His job is there to do a set routine.
but if he is that enthused about koi, why would anybody, if he says, I just want to dip my toe into the show scene, why would anybody stop him? Why?
I agree.
Why would you
with
do
that.
it?
But ultimately, I also agree that people that have got access to all of this advantage should also be considered of whether they should take part or not.
Yeah, it's
why
if
it's
we
such
just,
if
we just said
on both sides.
You've got to go one way or another when a decision is made.
Yeah.
That's it, in my opinion.
It's every decision on its own merit.
Oh wow! I can't keep up with the comments. I do apologise, guys.
I've turned my phone off.
You've got Anthony there, actually, from down the All England. Judges do not know whose fish are in the vat. I mean, I think a lot of them have got a good clue for, like the bigger, more impressive GCs and all that kind of stuff. They are repeated, showing fish, aren't they? And I mean, a lot of these koi judges are so good at their game that, well, they got a bit of koi autism, haven't they? Not many of them forget a koi.
It's a bit like saying,
I was looking for that. I couldn't see that.
But then,
it's a bit like saying they don't know who's going to win the All Japan each year.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, the judges are generally they're proper straight down the line, aren't they? They are it's a very professional organisation, and they're really, mate. I think they just judge on the day what they think should win, and that's it. It is what it is. They're a proper professional bunch. which is good. I think that's a very good thing. Hello, Daryl. I'll see you tomorrow morning, mate. Make sure you got a sausage sandwich ready for me and a good camp spot. I want Wi-Fi so I can watch
I've got to put the kettle on for the missus.
Housewives of Cheshire in the evening.
Do a dealer's award.
I don't think he's got enough room for VAT for the bloody exhibitors, let alone anything else.
Just best dealer.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, I know Paul's not there, but it's dead simple, right? So, Yasu just went to Holland, right? As an exhibitor, got a plaque to say that they was an exhibitor at the Holland Koi Show, as a trade stand at the Koi Show, right? Just for being there, they got given an accolade saying, thanks for coming to the show, right? That in itself is quite a nice touch. Imagine if you've got 20 of them, Dave, lined up. That shows how much support you show that scene. That gives a little bit back to the dealership. However, knowing the cost of these things, right, here's one for you, mate. Do a dealer's award with regards to best pitch, right? Because for me, Paul, one thing I think that the show scene misses, right? When you look at the Holland Koi show, right now, if you've seen pictures, they go balls deep in nice decorations, good lighting. They get slatted floor. They put, you know, some treats up with a table and a couple of seats round, etc.
Yeah, a bit of pride in this stand.
Yeah, right. Like what Lee done it is, like, you know, and Dave done. I can say that, you know, we just went run of the mill. There's a banner. There's the fish, but ultimately it makes the show look better when the stands look better. You know, so if you run a competition for best pitch, maybe, just maybe, the competitiveness amongst dealers would happen.
That's
just
true.
a thought.
I'm going to do it in a bikini then.
Or a Borat thong.
Oh, or my tanchokini. See the one I've made. I've got a white tanchokini. Well, I got a white mankini with a little red tancho spot on the on the business end, and I made that to do my first harvest with Tucano. He caught me. He was at that orchard, Kira. I was his number one apparently on that harvest. He said, Paul, it's definitely male.
Is everything in place for next week? You're happy?
Actually, who's going to put up your really high little things? Because I might be busy setting up my stand.
Nobody can put them up. I can't get public liability for working at height.
Oh, bloody hell.
Really?
Yeah, don't surprise me.
You've never told me I had public liability. I've never had that before.
You bounce.
I'll put. Hey, get him ready, Paul. I'll find time for you. I'll put him up.
It's yeah.
Oh dear. Right, so this comment got my attention. So my father kept and shown koi for years, causing me to love the hobby so much so I get my dream job working with koi, but now my dream of showing like my father is crushed. Let me put this into perspective. All right. If you're working with koi all day, every day, right, and you get that ability to go to Japan on a company, cost-free, to a place where it's magical for koi, I would take being a dealer over being a show exhibitor every single day of the week, because you're doing something that you love. And just taking a trophy home from a show koi, right, is not brilliant. But what does happen is when you supply a koi to somebody that takes an accolade, it feels even better because it ain't cost you nothing. Right, you know, when you look at it from both sides of the fence, I understand what you're saying with that, but from a real life example, I would take being a dealer over showing my koi every day of the week.
Yeah,
guys, Would you be the same?
I'd be the same, because for me, it's I enjoy showing in the odd show in Japan, which I get a bit of a buzz out of. But I'd never swap what I'm allowed to do, owning coastal koi and going out there, selecting the koi, meeting the breeders, and doing all that side of it. And to be honest, I think a lot of show people, not all of them, but it's the weekend they enjoy.
100%.
It's not about if my koi don't get anything, then you know.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's the whole. I mean, I love it as a koi dealer because on the Friday night, I'll go out with other dealers, their customers, and the weekend starts there. And you can have a fabulous Friday night, a fabulous Saturday night, and it's just the Sunday where you're thinking, "Oh Christ, I've got to now pack this lot up and go home." But I think it's actually the whole weekend of meeting people and being with people is actually would be for me more important than what fish I've got in to a degree.
And that's why digital shows will never overtake koi shows.
I think you're correct. Yeah.
You lose
Because
so much.
It is the Friday night. When I turned up I was there first thing Saturday morning. I was in the queue before it opened at the National. Because I always go on the Saturday. And half of them didn't turn up till about 11 o'clock. Because they were out partying till God knows what time, dancing on the tables till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And after the exhibitors, you say, where you been? Oh, I'm rough. Oh, I'm rough. And that's part of the weekend, isn't it?
You can't
as a dealer, I think I was at my thing at like 6 o'clock in the morning checking my fish.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have been if you were an exhibitor.
Well, you can't make them memories at a digital show.
No, definitely not.
Mate, I remember as a dealer, my first koi show, mate. My God, it was, mate, coming from a YouTube platform where all eyes are on you.
Yeah, it's harder than you think,
mate.
It's hard work. It's hard work, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, beyond people's belief. You know,
and it's not just the weekend; it's leading up to the show, getting things prepared, getting fish prepared. I mean, I
like that. Though
you need to know that you have to find out or learn the hard way is staggering. Lee, you've just put yourself in that position, right? It messes your head up, doesn't it?
What's that now? Sorry,
like everything, like as a dealer, upholding, moving everything.
Oh yeah,
from a show perspective to a dealer perspective, you know, you're moving a few.
I don't know. I love it, mate. I look. I'm ready to go. I can pack up now and go to the koi show. I'm ready to go.
We can do the same as that. Yeah.
I absolutely love administration. That's my middle name. Everything. I love it. It's all ready to go. I'm ready to go now.
I need you down here for a week, Lee. Then,
mate, your trailer's already packed as well, though.
Yeah, it is true. Yeah.
I think that when you're a dealership that's serious, you've got the ability to pick it up, put it in, and go. Because when you come back, everything that section is just koi show stuff. That's it.
Yeah.
So when you bring it back, disinfect it all down, pack it, renew stuff that needs renewing. Just a few little bits like tape and boxes and stuff. That happens
next Monday. Next Monday. Before 12 p.m., I'll be packed ready for my next show.
If I said this, right, right, tomorrow, 6 o'clock, we need to meet here to put up the vats and put a load of fish on, could you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, apart from my fish have only been starving for a day and a half.
Obviously, that bit taken out.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Do it?
Yeah.
My van's empty, ready to go.
I've only got
and any good koi dealership would.
Yeah, I've only got
because
it's done.
Just ready to go.
Yeah.
There's been loads and loads of stuff going, like with regards to the conversation that we've had, which is, I don't think it's negative. I think it's a positive conversation, really outlined with regards to whether people in dealerships are allowed to show or not. Right? I think what it actually does do is show how complex that set of rules is, and you're not going to please everybody all of the time. No matter
it's the
what
word dealer.
Made.
It's the word dealer that leaves it open to interpretation.
Lee, I like this one. Lee could do with going to Dave's to organise that room he's in.
Yeah, Bait King. There you go. I'll tell you what, mate. his missus Kate, that's in the background. Go to the first and second episodes of the Koi Show live. Have a look at what that looks like now in comparison to what it was. And it, Dave.
Yeah.
She did a fab job. It's all about the crack. Got to meet up, have a curry, few drinks, tell trade stories. Got to be done every now and then. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely
It's time to let her hair down. And hobbyists as well.
Because at the end of the day, you can never get away from it. 99% of dealers only become dealers because they love koi. The same as the hobbyist. That's the main reason they got into it, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, and we do it for the love of the hobby. I don't do it to make money, or you know what I mean. If people want to come and show, and I'll facilitate as much as I can, and I'll do as much as I can for people. I've got 41 trade stands to look after the next week.
Right, Paul. Here you go, Rachel. Rachel. So Rachel, one of my good customers, Paul. She's coming up to the show.
All right.
Her and her husband or partner own their own tankers for drainage. All right, so they're going to introduce herself at the weekend. Right, yeah. You won't miss Matt. He's a big fella. Right, he won't mind me saying that because we have a good laugh about it. All right, they've sponsored the UK koi judges as well. Okay,
all right, nice.
They're proper involved in the koi. They're going to introduce themselves. They own tankers that could empty 5 vats in 5 minutes. All right.
I like them. Them
so,
already.
But again, they may not. They probably need to know a little bit more about logistics, etc.
Yeah.
All right. Have a conversation. Show them what they're dealing with, and maybe they can offer a solution that buy you a few hours at least. Maybe.
Yeah, it'd be lovely.
Rachel and Matt, as always, brilliant. Thank you for your support.
Excuse me.
Right.
So are we ready? Back. I'll tell you on Monday dinner time.
Right. I've started a few things off for you, Paul. All right.
Go on.
So I asked the audience to supply ideas for your next koi show.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Aaron Eden states best Katsina.
Yeah. Well, he would, wouldn't he? He's already asked me if dogs can come.
Snowasagi from Eric.
But that's only in one. That's already in a class.
Yeah.
It's already in the Asagi class, isn't it? I want something that expands, goes through the classes, if I can.
Prettiest koi.
Right, Rach, I'm just going to educate you. You probably know it because you put laughy faces.
That would be very subjective.
So there's code, all right? If it's a pretty koi, right, it means it's a bag of shit. But you can't say it's a bag of shit, so we call it a pretty koi.
Yeah.
That's a pretty koi. So if you hear anyone saying it's a pretty koi, and that
what about best deformity? There's always one that gets through. The most discreet deformity. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
I'd embarrass the judges.
Matsuba.
Yeah. It's only one. It's in Kawari Mono, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in a class.
Yeah. I want something to span the classes.
I think
what about this one? Let's be serious.
Oh, what about? Yeah, it has to be. What about best skin or a best something on a koi?
Best peck fin.
Best anal fin.
So everything has to be turned up.
I'll judge that.
Best looking dealer.
Oh,
that's going to be slim pickings, isn't it?
Can Katie not attend?
Hey.
Well, I know who it's not going to fucking be.
Rob Walker. I'm joking, Rob. I'm joking if you're watching.
Let's be different. Best long fin.
Let's
not be different.
Band. I love that.
Best butterfly. No.
Band.
Yeah, band. Right then, Matt Clowry puts, for someone that's new to the hobby and has gone balls deep into it as well, I think the show's help out and meet like-minded people has really benefited himself and Rachel.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah,
our dogs
absolutely.
are going to go crazy because the missus has just come home. So, you know, that states it all. And I think personally that all koi shows have the ability to help people like Matt that are just in the hobby, and it's the best place to get like-minded people. You know,
and that's why I'm a big believer in clubs as well, because clubs, if you know what I mean, from the start of building your pond, when you're thinking about it, you like we've taken on some new members that are thinking about bringing a pond. So when we did a multiple run round of all the ponds, because every pond in the club's different. Somebody will just have a show pond. There's nothing else in it apart from it's a box with show koi. Some people in the club have the pond as part of the garden. You know what I mean? And and then you have other people in the pond that have got a fabulous garden, and they need the pond to set off the garden. You know, and the ponds are totally different. And you can go around and see 8 or 10 ponds for people that are starting up new. Totally different for us, filtration, water setups, expense. You know, some people might be running off an easy pod, you know, and then some people have got combis that are thousands and thousands of pounds, and it just shows you what you can do right the way through the system.
and discuss dealerships.
Massively, yeah.
You know,
that's
that definitely happens.
And products.
Yeah, anything to do, but you can't. One thing you won't get is people discussing dealerships on social media.
Shouldn't do.
They shouldn't do, and rightly so. They shouldn't do, right? But whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you hear a lot of good, but you don't hear a lot of bad or concerns, etc.
But
that happen.
and that's why I say it's a very insular hobby, and getting together with people and chatting, and you can chew the fat for hours and talk about Coastal and Tafaguchi and Perfect, and you can all sit there and somebody will say something, and then, you know what I mean? You just go round in circles, don't you?
Absolutely. You know, right? We're coming up to time, Paul and gang. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Final question, Paul, from
go on.
the Koi Show Live to yourself. What would constitute a successful Great British Koi Show for this year?
For people to give me feedback that they enjoyed it and they want to come back next year.
Do you want the truth or do you want lies?
You can't help it.
What else do we do it for?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
What else? If somebody says your koi show's shit and I'm never coming again, you know what I mean? If you got so many of them, you'd look at it and say, what are we doing wrong? Wouldn't you? But at the moment, touch wood, we're not getting that. We try and get better. There will be some improvements this year over last year, but we can't do everything because everything, as you know, costs thousands of pounds to do.
Right, here you go. Is a question. All right. It's not. There's only one way to succeed, and that's be prepared to fail. It's not a question, statement. All right. As somebody that runs a business, right, my job is to identify where things are not working to put them right. That's the only way of moving forward. The only way.
Yeah, well, we made some cock-ups in the first couple of years, didn't we? But we've moved on.
You've got. It's the only way. The only way you can improve something is by failing something, right?
Yeah. Remember the first year we were doing all them
to improve them. Absolutely.
Yeah, we were doing all them water changes, weren't we? Because we couldn't get the trickle in, trickle out set up. Then the second year was the trickle in, trickle out, which required obviously. Then you're talking about all the new pipe work. Yeah. You know, so thousands of pounds on pipe work, weren't there? Different water system.
It's just not easy, mate, is it? You know, it's harder than people think.
No, it's we started with pennies. You know what I mean? We begged, borrowed, and stole everything. But what we've done is we've reinvested it and we're still doing it now. You know that big 6,000 gallon pool that we have in the centre ring, that should be outside this year. So the centre ring, hopefully, if all goes to plan, on Monday, Tuesday, we'll be outside and we'll be pumping it all in from outside.
Superb.
But again, that's come at a massive cost because it's all got to come high level.
Yeah.
you know. So, but we can only plan. It's not just me, you know what I mean? There's a team of people here, all just club members. You know, they're not professional koi show builders. You know what I mean? But you plan it, you buy it, you hope, and you say, right, this is what we're going to do, and see if it works, and that's
prevail.
what we started. Pardon?
And then prevail, mate.
Yeah, we just keep trying, don't we? If it works, that's something we don't have to do next year. So
last comment from the audience tonight comes from Colin Holland. One for you next year. Best peduncle.
I think I've got
that. I think we're stuck with your idea. Best unique koi.
I think it crosses every boundary, doesn't it? It probably will come in Kawari mono.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's because that's the catch-all. I don't know. We'll have a think. And
but I think Crouch and Scottish also do that. Just so you know. But nevertheless, most unique.
Oh, do they? That's a bit dodgy, isn't it? Perhaps I could do best golden corn because I love them. They're right cool variety.
Wow, there are good ones out there.
They're far cooler than Aragokis, Lee.
Yeah, you could
just
be
agree.
right there.
Yeah, just agree.
I think that is true.
Yeah, you listen to me, I won't steer you wrong.
You could be right.
So, koi show dates. When are they?
Next weekend, 29th and 30th.
There you go. Let me bring that up on screen for you because it's better than what Dave's modelling.
There you go.
Great British Koi Show next weekend, Saturday 10 till 5, Sunday 10 till 3. Admission fee £7.50, should be a tenner. Kids under 12 go free, so no lying about your kid's age. So, Paul, I wish you all the best on your club's show. Anyone that's exhibiting, good luck. I'd love to see the pictures and everything afterwards of who's taken what. I should be there. Fingers crossed, should be there. If I'm not, the other two ugly mugs will be.
I'll
make sure you pay them a visit. Yasukoi, make sure you take the t-shirts as well and make sure they get sold. So anyway, next week we have definitely got Tim Waddington on. I spoke to him in the week. Before we close off, we're going to give a bit of promo to somebody else. But Tim Wads is supporting Koi Heaven, I think they're called, off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm going there tomorrow morning.
Absolute.
This weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, absolute gleaming bloke. Lee, you know, well, I know what's going on, but you're attending, I believe. So
I'll be popping up there now. I'll have a couple of hours sleep, get a shower, shave me gooch, and I'm on the way up in the van. So they are harvesting. Mate? Pardon?
Where is it?
So it's in North Wales, in Koi Heaven. If you go to koiheaven.com, you can see the address and all that kind of stuff. However, I don't think you can just turn up. You have to buy a ticket, which is peanuts, but it's just for Daryl to realise the numbers going. We've got the main harvest is tomorrow. Shintaro and his son is over actually, along with Tim Waddington. There's a couple of guys going to support the show. I think EA is there, Fenland Lass, and a few other people. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. But we've also got, what I'm super looking forward to, is camping. And Liam, the Pig King, is going to be there. So you can buy your little ticket for a hog roast, which I'm absolutely buzzing about.
So those people that don't know, need something to do this weekend or would like to attend an event, check out Koi Heaven's website. Daryl, sorry, mate, if I haven't given you a little bit more of a push, but something's better than nothing. One good thing is Shintaro's going.
Yeah.
And Tim Waddington will be
already there
as well. So
yeah, they're there.
That's why Tim couldn't be here today, because he had to pick Shintaro up. So that's the
whole
reason.
Second choice, then, am I? I'll remember that. Yeah.
Oh no, you was coming on together.
All right.
Tim is now coming on next week, so we've got Tim on his own. So For those people that don't know who Tim Waddington is, he is involved with Quality Nishiki-goi. He's travelled a huge amount through Japan. He's travelled a huge amount through America, all within the koi scene, and he is the son of somebody that was extremely big in koi. And if you don't know the answers to that, tune in next week to find out, because he's got quite an accolade within the koi world, and a very interesting person. And if you haven't seen his YouTube channel, he does some amazing pond builds as well.
I built my first pond off the back of all of his videos.
You know,
but
and
also
it'll be a good discussion, actually.
Yeah. Dave, are we going to do that? We're going to have to try to do it somewhere on the Friday evening, aren't we?
We're going to have to try, aren't we? Yes.
I might go live from the venue. Yes, I'm going to go live from my venue. We should do it together,
shit,
Dave.
I forgot you guys were going up there.
Me and Dave will be able to do it, mate. I'd be set up by this time.
We'll have to do something live from the show if that's possible.
I might just set up and do it live from the show.
We can make it the week after. I totally forgot you guys because I'm not trading there. I was like on our spreadsheet, mate. I'll put it in for Tim to join us next week.
Well, it would make more
next
sense.
week. I'll just put pay-per-view on the Wi-Fi camera.
Maybe do it the week after if it's possible. Me and Lee can always do a quick something from the show anyway, Lee. Just a walk round or something for the live koi show.
No, I think that we leave the show for the show. People need to go to the show to see the show.
Yeah, okay.
In my opinion, right? You guys have got enough on your plate. We were saying about it earlier. So what we'll do is I'll speak to Tim and we'll miss next week and we'll do it the week after.
Okay.
You know, at the end of the day, I'd rather it be us
like this,
all in a good room without communication hiccups and other stuff going on.
Okay, buddy.
Paul, thank you for joining us tonight.
Pleasure.
Hopefully your show goes well. For those of you watching, thank you very much for tuning in. We had good numbers again tonight, so really pleased to see that.
Yeah,
the person that won the shirt, get in contact with us so we can get that ordered. Paul, I need your size as well. So until 2 weeks' time, keep your eye to the ground or your ear to the ground and get yourself up to the koi show so you can support Paul and the koi club as well.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
We will see you in a fortnight. Paul, don't go anywhere. Where the bloody hell has that gone? Trying to find the end stream button. See you in a fortnight, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
See you at the show, guys.
Good night.